Welcome back, everybody, to the Solo Bard guided playthrough. I am your host, Solo Bard, and today I went from level 15 all the way up to level 21, soon to be level 22. And not only have I had a lot of fun today, but also I almost died because I got turned to stone by a creature named Slomanuk inside of the quest Fathom the Depths. And then after getting turned to stone by the creature Slomanuk, I proceeded to panic, and I mashed Alt and R. By mashing Alt and R at the same time on my keyboard, Alt was for block, and R was my heal, so I was trying to heal myself for Rejuvenation Cocoon, basically block and then heal as fast as I could. By doing so, by mashing Alt and R brings up a diagnostics menu for NVIDIA. And doing such a thing, by mashing it like 50 times in 1 second, I literally crashed out my graphics card, and everything went down.
The rift to the other world.
So my entire computer froze.
It
was a different freeze than before, so don't worry, this is not the freeze from before that's coming to damage me. But again, this did happen again during the solo playthrough. Anyway, I have disabled that setting, so I can't do that to myself again. Because, like, I saw it flicker, and I was like, uh-oh, and then I knew it was happening.
We are in the realm.
I turned the live stream back on, logged back in, and I was still alive.
Shadows are the source of thy current troubles.
That's what I'm talking about. I'm still alive.
It was only possible for me to come here because Lorth let her guard slip when the rift opened. And I cannot easily leave the demon web until she slips again.
Making some progress. Thanks, dude. I'm level 21. We're getting there. Gonna be level 22, and then gonna be level 23, and then gonna be level 24. It's gonna be an infinite level.
Vast and tangled scheme of Lorth's.
Getting crashed out of the game may have saved you. Honestly, probably, because I don't know how we would have made it out of the flesh to stone. My DC, my saving throws were not that high. I picked up an extra 6 fortitude saves here that time because I needed more fortitude saves. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know how we would have made it out of that. That was terrifying.
I sense that she has dropped her guard again. Occupied with her sister, most
it was planned? Yeah, exactly.
I must leave while I can.
I'm just trying to make content, you guys. That's all I'm doing. I'm just making content.
'Tis a dangerous journey, but you seem to be accustomed to dangerous journeys.
Elminster departs. The demon web sprawls out before you. Somewhere in this chaotic maze lies the path
using random gen items. I'm using whatever I find.
The hunched creatures ahead make some strange and disgusting sounds as they root the old bones. They produce even more disgusting smells.
Yeah, they're pretty close to Alt F4, just saying. I mean, I did effectively do that. Breaking out a few times close fighting was near some of the ledges. Yeah. If that makes you uncomfortable, just wait till I do it on a character with half of the health and half of the physical resistance rating. Soon. Coming to you on Solo Play Guide. Don't worry, Drakandriel. If I can increase the tension more, I'm going to do it. I'm almost done with Solo Fighter. I only have 2 more chunks, basically just getting to 32. So once that's up, it'll be done. And then I can start uploading the Solo Bard. And then once that's done, I don't know what I'm going to do. But when Dark Hunter comes out, I will be putting a Dark Hunter solo guide on how to get through the game with the Dark Hunter, so you can do all the traps. Although, you're probably going to need to be intelligence-based to actually get all of the traps, so it's probably going to be an intelligence-based melee Dark Hunter, which means, yeah. But I think that Dark Hunter is one of the better soloers in the... Oh, okay. Calm down, Dretches. Why do those things hit so much for melee damage? The problem is they're all immune to lightning, so it just makes the opening of this section very annoying. There's a way to click on interact for all objects on the ground. I don't know if it's harder, but it could be.
Only the strong survive.
SP management issues. It's a little rough in early epics, just because I don't have a lot of extra spell points, but that's going to be fixed when I get access to Evergreen. Evergreen will solve the problem, but pretty much the only time I've had spell point issues has been like 20 to
in the center
now.
Of the demon web is a
Epics.
vast structure that can
Ultimate
only be
support tree, I guess.
Lorth's lair.
Oh yeah, Harper Agent will be the key.
In the distance, the spinner of shadows.
There's no way to get away from using Harper Agent, so it will be like part of the build. Even though Dark Hunter is free, there's no other way to get around it. Unless something gets added to the tree that makes it so Dark Hunters can get more like search and disable and stuff. If they do add something that gives you more search disable, then maybe it's fine. But it's going to be really rough for Dark Hunters to get anything like that.
A spider hatchery lies empty. The brood it bore has already consumed the weak and the slow. Then
Yeah, so far this character hasn't really had any spell point management issues for the most part. And by spell point management issues, I just mean I've had to start using shrines in epics. Because I wasn't really using that many shrines in heroics, and then now that I'm in epics, I have to start using way more shrines. Which is in no capacity a bad thing, it's just something I had to start doing. Trap was slain by non-localized trap. All right. I mean, shit. But yeah, the 1, 2, 3 enhancement. So yeah, they have a disabled or UMD 1, 2, 3. It should really be like technical tinker or something like that, and it's plus 1, 2, 3 UMD disable device and open lock probably. That would be a good solution.
Power beyond imagining. Now join me, sister. Let go of your physical form and join me. Become greater
one.
than you ever were. Become one with Lolth.
With Lolth.
Lolth vanishes with a piercing.
Alright, now I'm gonna fight a Dragloth. I always start on this side first because the Dragloth side is a little bit more intimidating and I don't want to get caught up with these monsters getting me in the back. I don't have magic missile protection. I'm out of shield ones, that's a bit of a problem. I have no idea how that worked against all these monsters, but I'm going to ride that feeling all the way to the bank. This guy's immune to lightning, which is very irritating. You also will see me on occasion using abilities such as what is this? Rejuvenation Cocoon defensively, where I will use it ahead of time for the 150 temporary hit points as opposed to the healing, just because sometimes you just need the healing. What is kind of cool is I can basically stun lock stuff with enhanced or with the lightning strike, because lightning strike goes off often enough that one monster can just be held entirely in place. Which is pretty cool, in my opinion.
Lies a glimmering magical portal.
Should I have shrined?
No way of knowing what strange new world it leads
probably.
to. You find yourself
The spiders here completely ignore displacement, so they're just going to start attacking me and dealing high damage to my character's hit points. So, I'm going to deal high damage to their hit points, and this is the solve to that problem. High damage to my enemy hit points. It has nothing to do with Dark Hunter, it's just funny. It's called a fighter. What is a ranger anyway? A fighter in and about the woods. Friends of nature. Woodsman. What is a monk? A meditative fighter. What is a barbarian? A wild out of control fighter. They're all fighters. Rangers just have a longer area to roam. They like to do it with a pet companion, which is a characteristic set them apart from fighters. Yeah, I don't understand why people go like, yeah, but this is just fighter. It's like, yeah, but it's not though. It's like a different class. It does a different thing. Like fighter doesn't have a death attack. There's a different idea. And even the base class is like different. Like, yeah, you can boil them all. You can cut everything down if you want. Like, well, you know, it's all fighters now. All the way down, it's all fighters. Gotcha.
The sound of battle has alerted another colony of deadly spiders.
Being careful with this, just because I don't want to get moitered. What is a wizard but a fighter that picked up a book and learned magic? I mean, basically. That's what I call a fighter. Them's fighting words, dude. Okay, now I have greater dispel magics. Now I can disable spell words for experience points. Some of you guys might not know about this, but you can disable spell words with dispel magic, which means I can get experience points for disabling traps, which is cool. Talks about fighter, but no one talks about fightist. Everyone asks what is a fighter, but no one asks how is fighter. Disappointing. Okay, so what you do is you walk up here, find the spell word, and then bam, get him. Bam. Problem solved. You have to disable the spell words to get the bonus, or just the majority. You don't have to disable all of them. It depends on the quest. In this quest, you'd have to disable quite a few. I will show you where all the ones I'm going to disable are, so you can kind of like follow along with that. If you want kind of a guide. Man, do I wish I had that hamstring immunity filigree right now. Tell you what. An epic voice of the master, which I could go get. And I probably do have enough coins to buy a hamstring immunity filigree right now.
Perhaps they can lead you up to the surface.
I will think about it. Apparently it works on both hamstring and crippling hit. Like, no joke, I might just use on every character. It takes a little bit extra time to disable them, but the amount of XP you get extra is really nice, so I'm going to take that time. If I had regular Dispel magic as well as greater, it would make it even faster because you could just cast one and then the other. But yeah, if casting a spell word trap, it'll reduce the level of the trap by 1 to 4. Well, it does way more than 1 to 4, and I'm very happy for that.
Right, it will take you closer to the surface. The Drow patrol.
Right, down there's a bunch of Earth Elementals, and apparently I can't make saves against Earth Elementals because Earth Grab is really dangerous. So, I'm going to skip all of them. However, there is one spell word here, so I'm going to go pop it.
Surface dwellers down
and
here.
then do one of these.
The slavers are growing careless. I shall have to clean up after them.
Museum spell words actually is hard to disarm than to dispel. Oh, well, there's no DC on the dispelling, so it makes it really, really easy. Walk up here. Hello. Oh, displacement's gone. Grab the spell ward. It's gone. Also, apparently dispelling the spell ward killed all those animated armors, which is interesting. Last couple on the side of the cavern with the Mother of Thousands. You know, the Mother of Thousands doesn't always spawn there. There's actually 3 different spots for the Mother of Thousands to spawn. It can either spawn down this hallway, in the last room underneath the stairs, or before that there's like another room where there's like an alternate hallway. It always spawns in the dungeon, but it only has but it spawns in one of the 3 locations. So you never know exactly where it's going to spawn. But yes, I am disabling that one. That one plus the other ones in here gives you the full trap bonus.
2 spiders stand.
Because I believe there are 3 on this route over here.
They had been ordered to do so.
I actually need to be a little bit careful about the monsters up ahead, but I believe I should still have... I don't. I thought I had my Hero's Feast still going, but it looks like I'm pending on Hero's Feast. If my Hero's Feast was still going, then my character would have... I skipped a spell word. I know I skipped one somewhere. It would give me poison immunity, and I need to be very careful about that. But I have neutralized poison, I think. I do. So I'm going to cast neutralized poison on myself because it gives me poison immunity for 1 minute. Poison immunity is really important because the monsters in this quest have a poison that has no saving throw that causes paralysis, the Drow warriors. So I want to be able to get them as out of here as possible. So that's what I'm going to be doing. Also, I like that my damage is a little shy of where I want it to be. And I have the ingenious debilitation bonus, so we're good. I got the extra XP. I believe there's a shrine that I passed by. I don't think I need the shrine for the final room. The final boss only has 23,000 hit points, I think, or something like that, so I should be okay. But again, we'll see. I'm gonna pop another poison immunity because these things will kill me if I am not poison immune. Apparently, they're also amazing dodgers, so they just completely sidestep all of my damage that I did. Very cool. Okay, good. That's what I wanted. Okay, is there still an archer, or is it all warriors? It's all warriors, it looks like. If I can just kind of focus on the boss, and then everything else will die in the back end. go, my Thunder Snow. Monsters with saving throws. Whoop. You can actually see the health of Drow, which is cool, because they added Drow to the monster manual after what seemed like 1,000 years. I still remember it was like 2018 when they added Drow to the monster manual, when Drow have been in the game since literally day one of DDO.
A voice from
Well, Wild had them to the monster manual.
Over here. Let us out. Thank the gods, I'd almost given
I think
up
they're
hope.
under player races.
Where
I
did you
think,
come
yeah,
from?
Drow. I need to kill a lot more. I've only killed 3,000 out of 12,000 Drow, so I don't, unfortunately, can't see the Drow health bars. How many humans do you have to kill? 3,500? God damn.
The people here know the name of Elminster, the wizard who braved the demon web.
Interesting name, Drow monsters in 2018.
Others, the great over-sorcerer.
What a horrible thing. They put them in the monster manual?
Elminster will.
Holy moly. Do they just hate Drow all of a sudden? Shaking my head. It is. It's fucked up, dude. They're just going about their lives. They're just trying to live. Ooh, an Astral Shard. And yet they call them monsters? True. Just straight up fact, man. You're just dropping facts on us. Amazing. Hardy 10 is better than Hardy 7. And I don't need Sonic Resistance, and that even has more stats on it. So I will take this armor piece all day. I'm only one level away from this armor piece. Unfortunately, the clothing broker, it looks like, does not have any better equipment here, so I'm going to have to deal with that. Let's see. Natural armor 10. Resonating. I don't need this. Selling some stuff. I wonder if there's a better pair of gloves. That's what I want to know. I wonder if there's a better pair of gloves. Next Hardcore League, I'm going to open with a charisma-based character so I can have more money at the end game. Because the fact that my bard has so much friggin' money right now is very satisfying. Nope. Maybe I'll keep that. No. Gloves. Wizard. And I need clothing. It's not called wizard. What is it called on gloves? Power? Mana? Combustive? What's the glove mana stat called? Apparently it's not called wizard. Invigorating. Invig. 57. That's not a lot. Maybe it's okay. I was thinking of getting the Darkstorm helm, as stupid as that sounds, replacing my helmet, because I would lose 2 charisma and the wizardry, but I could get the wizardry on gloves, and then I could make the epic Darkstorm helm really easily, which would then give me access to Void lore and lightning lore and magnetism at a higher level, which would give me more damage in general, which I think would be pretty good. So I think I am going to do that. So I'm going to buy this invigorating pair of gloves for the 57 mana, even though they're not very good. And I think I'm going to go upgrade my Darkstorm helm, which is kind of silly. It's a really stupid thing to say I'm going to use the Darkstorm helm in Dungeons & Dragons Online, but, you know, here we are. I think so. Darkstorm helm. You can farm out a Shattered Onyx if you want the charisma back. I can't do that because I'm on Hardcore League, and on Hardcore League you can't do heroic quests in epics. But if I could, that would be an interesting idea. Yeah, sadly, because I'm playing on Hardcore, I'm limited and I'm unable to go into heroic quests. Who knows? Maybe someday. But I think I'm going to go upgrade my Darkstorm helm. Which, yes, it is very weird to say. I'm 1 off on crystallized spiderwebs. Oh, there's got to be more. Belt from Borderlands. I mean, I could farm it out, but then I have to farm a quest that has a 1 in 3, so I have a 1 in 9 chance of dropping it on 8 pulls. And do you know what that means? I would do the quest 8 times and not get the item. So we're not going to do that. I'd rather just, like, be mildly disappointed here. So I'll grab the wizardry like so, put that there, and then I'll go upgrade the Darkstorm helm. That seems like it's the call. I don't really care too much about, like, the charisma's good, but I'll find another way to get insightful charisma later. I'll find a way around that. My charisma's not even that bad. It's like 51, so it'll go down to 49. So it's 1 DC. 1 DC does matter, but at 23, I pick up 1 DC plus 3 here, so 4 extra DCs, which will help me out tremendously, because the power of the monsters I'm going to be fighting is not going up in the next few levels, because I'm doing, like, all level 20, 21 stuff, so, yeah. Do you think I should wind up doing a system like they did in the Sands, where you just buy that as just so many tokens? Probably not. I would like to see them include more types of systems like that in the future. I think that would be very cool, but I don't think that they're going to do that. That's Legendary Altar of Rituals. I don't want that. I want the Epic Altar of Rituals. Here we go. Epic Darkstorm Helm. I've never used this item before, but today is the day. So now we've got 311 lightning spell power, and I have lightning crit of 28, which is way better than it was before, so that'll help. Epic Salt Pearl Ring. I don't have a Heroic Salt Pearl Ring. I mean, I could go farm that out if I wanted. I'd have to farm that out from... I basically have to go run Heroic Salt Marsh, and then randomly pull the ring, and then upgrade it to Epic. I don't currently have one, so that is technically an option as well, if I wanted to do that. I'd have to replace one of my rings, which is False Life Sheltering Fortification. I kind of need that, and Charisma 7, so I'd have to replace the Charisma ring, at which point I'd have to find a new Charisma item, and that also becomes another challenge, whereas I'd rather just kind of, like, keep progressing. I'm not really in any danger for the most part. My character hasn't really come close to death, except for that one time where I disconnected from the entire video game, and then because I was disconnected, I couldn't do anything, and then I logged back in, and I was still in the quest, and I was still alive, and it was amazing. Was Air Domain Dark Apostate? Oh, cool. I actually want to do a maximum caster level build, in which you do half-elf, probably half-elf sorcerer, Air Savant, and you get all of the bonus cash levels with air spells, and then you use a high cash level called Lightning Storm, because in elemental form, I think it's plus 8 caster levels, so you get a level 28, and then you get an extra 4 or 6 cash levels from Epic, so it's like level 34 or something like that. Yeah, for sure. I mean, you say very easy to farm, but it's got a 10% drop chance with 3 other items in the pool. So it's like average 30 chests. Like, it's not challenging, I agree. Like, my character can't die while doing it, but it will take me an hour or two to farm, and I just don't really want to do that. I want to avoid farming as much as possible. I find it's not very compelling. It's not very compelling content, if that makes sense. I could go farm it out, or I could just take a huge risk by putting my character in a scenario where there's a good chance they're going to die because I didn't farm out the proper equipment. And then you've got tension. What's going to happen? Am I going to live? Am I going to die? I don't know. But we'll find out. Epic Elite time. I mean, yeah, I'll probably die.
The Midler farmhouse has seen better
But,
days.
you know, it just adds tension,
In the
I
middle
think.
of the room, a drow priestess stands menacing.
And then I also have to get a charisma augment, which would be another thing. I think I can get a charisma augment fairly easily, because I do have giant hold relics kicking around, so I can get a level 20 augment without too much trouble.
Do not play games, fool.
That wouldn't be too hard. You can you can go to the Keep in the Borderlands over leveled if you want. Yeah, you can go to Adventure Zones over leveled. That's not a problem.
The priestess's room.
But I'm not really over leveled. I'm level 21.
Health glowing on her face. With that, the
Kind
priestess
of curbs it
is
somewhat,
gone.
yeah.
Her words ring in your ears.
I hate the ransack system. I think it's one of the worst systems in the game currently, and I wish they would get rid of it. DDO is not like other games. It's not the situation where, like in another video game, if you don't get the item you need, there's another stand-in, because most items are just like stat blocks. Like, if you don't get the item you want out of the raid in WoW, it's okay, because your character will recover. But if you don't get the item that you want out of the raid in DDO,
You have caught the priestess.
your character can't recover,
Not stop until you are defeated or fled to the entryway.
unfortunately. So it's not exactly the same. It's not like, oh, I'll just like play without this key item in my build. No. Having a little bit lower stats because you don't have the raid set bonus or something is one thing in another game. Like somebody who plays Lord of the Rings Online, which has those types of bonuses. But in DDO, oh man,
But she was not
it's
the
such a
last
huge impact.
drow
It's so
priestess.
massive.
These were not the last innocents to be lost.
It's one of the reasons I just don't really like the ransack system. I just find it very unfun. It's very frustrating to deal with. And I think that the opinion of, oh, well, yeah, but you can just, wait a little while and come back and farm it later is, like, the perspective on that is like, yeah, you obviously don't want people to burn out on your content right away. And I can understand that from a game developer's perspective, where people do burn out on video games, and if they just get to like go, people will wear themselves out on it and then want to play something else, which is true. But on the other hand, I do think that the way the current system is designed, if I have to take a break for a week because my character doesn't work, that sucks. So you have to like literally hands off of keyboard for 8 days or for 7 days, and you cannot continue playing the game, and that just sucks. Like, yeah, you can continue playing the game, but who has the motivation to keep playing after you ransack on an item that you need for your build, and then your friends are like, or other people are like, hey, do you want to do this quest? And you're like, well, I could, but you're basically just getting carried around, and you're getting carried around. You're just kind of walking through quests as everyone else is doing the things because you can't do the things because you don't have the items. It's not a very satisfying experience. And every game has that to some degree, but at least it's like the DDO is a very all or nothing thing. So like, let's say you're playing World of Warcraft as an example, and you don't have the maximum raid gear, you're not going to be doing top DPS on like the leaderboard. So when you see people have like Recount or Scout or whatever it is they're using to track DPS, you're not going to be at the top because your character just hit level cap, you're doing your first set of heroic dungeons or whatever it is, you're just starting to get your gear, whereas somebody else might already have like the raid gear, or they've already got the heroic gear, they got the mythic dungeon gear, they got whatever it is. You're going to be on the boards, but you're not going to be like, obviously not top DPS. Not even close. You might not even be half of the next person. Like, you might be like at the bottom by like half. But at least you're there. If you're playing a spellcaster and you don't have the DC items, you literally can't affect the monsters. Like, you can't affect them with your spells. They are immune. You do nothing. So you're literally just standing there. Your character is a 1% XP potion for everyone else that's in the party. And it just feels bad. Unless you get the gear. It's like 5 chests in this game because to return. I hate DDO's gearing system. Yeah, I feel you on that one. Instead of the Dino Club for Alec, will the Prince's Scepter be good? Well, the Prince's Scepter is way, way, way worse in an immeasurably worse quantity. Probably you will do 1/3 less damage. You're losing about 33% of your damage. But if you're okay with that, then, I mean, yeah, you could just use the Prince's Scepter instead.
The drow have ravaged the
I shouldn't really have
cemetery.
Deathward here.
It's a wonder if any of the drow are pillaging this village for more than just supplies. You must not allow them to
A
boast
build that
of their
isn't DC
ranks.
until you get the gear, which allows you to
Trees
play
have been
DC.
uprooted in this area.
Okay,
Drow
so
have dug
now I ask
deep to
you,
find as many
I'm
bodies
playing my
as they
Spellcaster Wizard. What do I do, Chief? What abilities am I pressing? Scorch has a DC, and monsters have evasion.
eliminated.
About 1/3 of the monsters at level cap have evasion, so you do 0 damage.
Rest in peace.
Like, that's the main issue, is that there is no alternative. I guess technically there is an alternative, in that you just use the Primal Avatar thing, because that works really well, because it has no saving throw on it. But, like, it just kind of blows that that's the only option, is just use the Primal Avatar, like, poison acid ability. Everything else just doesn't work nearly as well. I mean, at least it does something, so I can't complain too much, because there is some function there, but yeah, it's just rough. Playing Villager, Scourge of the Snow Peaks. Guy's raising all the people I killed. You don't know Dino Land that well? Okay, yeah. I mean, as an interim, obviously, like, if you are in the process of gearing, like, if you don't know the area that well, yeah, you can use something else as a substitute. I thought you meant, like, you want to do the same type of content that I was doing. Like, you want to do, like, R10s and things, but you want to stop at Prince's Scepter. If you stop at Prince's Scepter, I mean, you're going to be missing out on quite a few stats. But if it's just like, oh, you're just going to use this now, and then you're going to replace it, then yeah, you can just use that whatever you've got and then replace it later. It's not a big deal. That's part of the process in DDO is a lot of the incremental pieces, and also knowing what those pieces are. What are the incremental moments? Him and your banks are just like, well, use on your wizard, it was good. Oh, absolutely. Can't land your spells? Yeah, basically. Play on casual. I mean, that is also an option. Just play on casual. Hey, guys, for this quest, can we put it on casual difficulty? I don't have my DCs. Like, there are times where I have been, like, invited by guildies to just do some R10s or to do some Reaper group or whatever, where my character hasn't been fully ready yet, and I've just, like, kind of tagged along. And in those moments, I don't really mind the fact that I'm tagging along, because, like, you know, who cares? Sometimes you just do some quests when people invite you to something. But I feel like if I am trying to organize something, or I want to complete the adventure myself, I don't know, it feels kind of bad to get, like, carried around. I don't like it. I'd like to not get carried around, please. I forgot about how long it takes to run through this gosh dang forest. Look at this place. It's got dang trees and all sorts of stuff.
Loth schemes have
Got
created
dang
the bridge
Elminster.
between our worlds. For that brought ye here.
Is this
in
next
our
quest hard
time
at
of
all?
need.
No,
I
it's
shall
just
not
drop poison.
beg thee for assistance. Let me merely mention that Eberron will surely disappear into the demon
But
web.
I think
if
in
Loth's
hindsight, the set bonus
plans
mechanic
are
caused this
left
loot issue.
unchecked.
I mean, yes and no. The set bonus mechanic does actually cause a lot of the issue, because a lot of the set bonuses don't work out well. But I think it's just something that's always going to be a problem when you need specific items to fill in specific slots. Like, that's just how it's going to be. Like, let's imagine that item sets aren't part of the equation. If you still need, like, strength and, you know, you're a strength-based user, the Cloak of Summer gives you strength, insightful strength, and a double strike. Like, that's just good. That's all good stats right there. And so it's really easy to think, I want to fit this into my build. And so you build an item set around having most of your strength on one item, the Cloak. But the problem is, let's say hypothetically you don't get the Cloak, but you got everything else. You can't just substitute in another strength item because the build was around having on a Cloak, and it doesn't come from Caneth Crafting. Caneth Crafting doesn't have strength on a Cloak. And so the interim becomes a little bit more complicated. I do think that on some level, it probably would be better if there were fewer set bonuses, or if the set bonuses were less impactful, and there was a bigger emphasis on individual items. Because I'm sure many of you have seen in the past, there have been a lot of problems derived from the fact that items have set bonuses, such as one of the major ones in the most recent update that came through with update 57. They released several quests about the hidden hand. And in one of them, there's this really cool quest about this dude who drops this, like, red dragon scale armor. And it's actually very, very cool. The armor piece is amazing. The problem is, the armor itself, it doesn't have a set bonus on it, so it's basically entirely useless. And that just feels bad. Hi, I was playing your hardcore Stormsinger. How does it use tower shields? Where do you pick up no spell failure? You get it out of the Fate Singer tree. So in the Fate Singer tree, there is an effect that allows you to suffer no arcane spell failure while you are using the mantle. So it's in tier 3 of the tree. It's this enhancement right here called Sonata to Serve, and you use Sonata to Serve to allow you to have no arcane spell failure with tower shields. So it's at level 23 is when you can start doing that. Before then, you can just use either light shields or bucklers if you want, or just don't use a shield. And then for me, I picked up a epic shield of the Scorpion, and I put an augment of spell agility 15 to get minus 15%. So this gives me the stats in the interim. Now, disabling all the spell wards in here doesn't really matter, because the spell wards that are in this quest, there's too many of them to actually get the XP out of it, although damn, those things hurt. Gates 1 and 3 is what you want to do. Hey, Alvis, why are you dying, please? Stop dying. I like how I told him not to move, and he just charged into the spell ward. I guess he did want to heal me. And then it's 5 and 6, which is to get through here. Probably should free a slave at some point. I didn't do that. Oh well. Let's pretend that items equal skill. Now we can call it a skill issue, so now you can just tell people to get good. I mean, that is true. You can just do that. This is America. You can do whatever you want, so.
A drow voice echoes down from the chamber ahead.
Girl, what is the nature of your magic? What is Elminster's plan? Where is the thread of the weave?
There we go.
Speak!
Good. And now, for whatever reason, all those spell wards actually dispel themselves when you leave.
But you may be
Ransack prevents you from getting skill.
Now tell me, how did you cast that magic? That was no
Yeah, maybe.
ordinary
I
spell.
don't know. I think that the
I don't know.
Ransack mechanic
It
just
just
sucks.
happened.
I don't, also not like a controversial opinion. I'm like,
You
well,
and
look
your
at me
magic
with my
belong to me,
controversial ideas.
slave.
The game mechanic that makes it so you can't play the game, guess
No
what,
doubt
guys?
they
I don't
have
think it's very
noticed them
good.
Skulking around.
Because I'm a friggin' genius.
Anna glows with magic and her injuries disappear.
What am I doing? I can't stop myself.
Now that she's no longer forced to oppose,
How about a similar mechanic to the Master's Gift? Augment set bonoses, maybe not required to put an item.
timidly asks you,
Yeah,
Please.
I don't really know
Just
exactly
color
what the
off
answer
of me.
is here, because I think that just being able to augment the set bonuses means that the bonuses don't really matter. If that makes sense. Like, if the item slots of the sets doesn't really matter, then do they even need to design sets at all? Like, what's the point of having an item set in the game if it doesn't matter whether it comes from the augment or not?
shatters the drow
So,
barrier with almost
I don't know the
effortless
answer to
ease.
that question.
But the remaining drow in the temple aren't going to just let her leave.
Okay,
Unexplained
somebody can answer this, because I don't know if this is right or not.
need your help to get
Guild Wars 2 has fully augmentable item sets, right? Can I
You've
help
begun to
people?
make a dent against the suffering the drow have caused.
Like,
At
got
least
some
this
XP.
one person will be able to start.
I'm
the
pretty sure
rivalry.
in Guild Wars 2, all of the pieces of equipment, you can choose the item
I
set
hope they're
on
all
it.
right.
I
Stupid
think.
Corin.
This was
Or
once
I'm
the grand
imagining that.
cathedral of Mistress Temple,
Which is also
homes of
acceptable. I
worship
don't
sang
entirely
praises
remember.
of the goddess of magic. Now
Isle of
the
Dread,
goddess
build
is
your
gone,
own
though
item
the
system.
goddess of magic
Me too.
vanished
I do like to
long
build your
ago.
own item system in Isle of
Mistress
Dread.
altar here still remains.
Where's
Odd.
Anna? Oh, she's with me.
It
Okay, good.
looks like there's something strange about the wall behind the altar.
I feel like that's in Guild Wars 2.
It's brave of you to stay.
But again,
so
it could be
close.
imagining it. I
magic
don't
could
know
misfire.
at this point.
It might kill you, like the drow who ambushed us. Do you
I
think
might
Elminster
kill you.
might help control
Please,
it?
Anna, don't kill
You
me.
should
I don't
ask
want to die. I want to
Get
live.
out of here.
Alrighty. I think she followed me. Or she didn't, and she got stuck with Albus. One of the two things. I don't see her. So where did she go? She was with me a second ago. Anna. I hear fighting. Oh, she's fighting random armor here. Okay. Good. Now follow me. Good. How do you answer an interviewer when they ask you what is your greatest weakness?
Might find the thread of the weave here.
Admittedly, it is a bit of an impossible question. I honestly don't really know what interviewers get out of that question. Because at the end of the day, I guess it's somebody asking if they can recognize their own flaws. The problem is, saying anything bad about yourself in an interview is like a major red flag in self-report. Like, that's just a bad idea. Right? So, like, as an example, I used to work at a grocery store. One of the questions that they would ask you during the interview is, have you ever stolen anything from your place of work? The answer to that question is no. It doesn't matter if you did steal things from your previous place of work. The answer is no. The problem is, not everybody is aware of that, and they think that honesty is the best policy. It's not the best policy, because if you say yes, no one is going to hire you, because they'll be like, oh, cool, I can't trust this person. And you might think, no, but that's counterintuitive. It's not. They said, can I trust you? And then you said, nope, you can't. It is a very weird and bizarre problem. Did my quest just soft lock? Oh, no, it didn't soft lock. It did soft lock? Yeah, I think I'm stuck. I think I have to reset the quest. I don't know what causes this. Yeah. But my quest is broken. Anna's not here. I don't know where she is. And I can't progress, so that's good. Your biggest flaw is you lack character? I wouldn't say that. I would say, if somebody asks you what your biggest flaw is, try to think of something honest about you that you think you could do better, and how you improve in strides in that thing all of the time. So, like, for example, my biggest flaw is sometimes I get too focused into what I'm doing, and I can miss out on other important details of a project that I'm supposed to be working on. However, because of this, and because I'm aware of this, I've built strategies to ensure that, you know, I keep track of all of the larger pieces of projects, such as getting better with using different types of management tools, and you can name programs or tools that are used for like project management or things. You know, you've gotten better at keeping tabs or working in coordinated groups to ensure that when tasks are required to be done, you've delegated the task to different people, so that way you already have check-ins and regular stops. You just need to think of... Oh, I didn't want to murder that guy, but I did. You just need to think of a way to say what you want to say, or like say a quality that is not necessarily bad, but make sure you can spin it in terms of, but this is how it is actually kind of a good thing, or how what I'm already doing about it.
If you kill the captives too fast at the end, you'll break the quest sometimes. You have to let the groups come out and attack.
But I don't want to. I don't want to let people attack me. That does not sound like a good idea. My go-to is I'm honest without diplomacy. Hey man, all I do is tell people to fuck right off. I tell them to go jump in. I tell them to go jump in a creek. Well, all the time. Yep. In fact, interviewer, jump in a creek.
Plundering this temple for Mistress secrets. They're looking for this thread of the weave.
At least I got called an oxygen chief thief by the head of HR. Oh, yeah. They ask if you've stolen stuff to weed out the truly stupid criminals? Yeah, basically. I mean, people have the expectation that pretty much everybody has at some point, even inadvertently, taken something from your place of work. So, like, any job you've worked at, you've probably left with a pen. You just forgot there was a pen in your pocket. You've stolen from your workplace, technically. So, yeah, it's just one of those things where the question is a real softball where you're just supposed to say, no, I have not done this. And it's exclusively a screening question. And man, that got too many people. Too many people. Because again, they think like, oh yeah, honesty. know. I'm just gonna be honest. Tell him, yeah, this is something that happened.
Drow have installed a complex
Don't do that.
series of gates to guarantee that their
Again, it's
newly
an
captured
important note.
slaves
I'm aware of how hypocritical that is. To be like, then why are you asking the question if you don't want the real answer? Yeah, I know. I know it sounds really bad. I'm aware. I'm just telling you right now. Dang right, pens. Been out of the army more than 10 years, still have free pens. Oh yeah, dude. The number of pens you just carry home. I'm not trying to take pens home. It just sort of happens. Here we go. And you're free now. Beautiful. I'm too honest, but that's not a flaw. I don't give a shit what you think. I don't even need your job. And then you punch the interviewer in the jaw. Oh, there's a recent performance review. Maybe you can pull something from there. Actually, not a bad idea looking at performance reviews. Unfortunately, I think that Infinitely is struggling with trying to apply for jobs where it's like he's trying to get an entry-level job. So if you don't have a lot of performance reviews because you're looking for entry-level work, that can be a bit of an uphill battle there, as they say. Have you stolen anything from your previous place of work? Is my boss's wife. There you go. Hey man, don't covet thy neighbor's boss's wife. I think that's how it goes. I'm trying to remember.
I don't know.
It's complicated.
It just happened.
No matter. You and your magic belong to me.
About the position,
slave.
not the
Now
open
use it to kill these
CS ones.
intruders.
So
No doubt they think I haven't noticed.
you'd
them
be surprised. It
skulking
depends on what it
around.
is. I still remember that I was working, so I used to work in sales. And as a result, I ended up,
I can't stop myself.
because of my incredible skill, I ended up basically being like the go-to guy for mentoring and stuff. And so I'd have people from all across Canada, they'd have to come and mentor through me before they went to their actual job. But as a result, if there anybody that happened to be local, before they got to join the mentorship program, they needed to be interviewed, so I did the interviews. And I still remember this one guy, and he came in, and we had a little bit of a meeting. And the first thing I did, every time if I'm interviewing somebody, I like to break the ice really easily. So we did the interview. We're gonna get coffee. I was like, we're doing the interview, and I was like, hey, you want to get coffee first? Because we had a coffee machine in my office. He's like, oh yeah, I could go for a coffee. I'm like, cool. So I'm like, let's just get a coffee, just chat for a second.
You've seen
I was like, how you doing? How was your drive in and stuff? And he's like, oh, good. And we're chatting. And then he just goes, I was like, do you know anything about, business or whatever? And he's like, oh. He's like, yeah, actually, in like one of my business classes, we had to do like an investigation about the profit plans of like different companies. And it's like, and I did my thing on your company. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. Like, genuinely interested. I'm like, that's interesting. I'd love to know about that. So anyway, but we're just like passively chatting. We get into the interview, and I'm asking some questions. And the guy seems like a little nervous and doesn't seem like he seems like he knows his stuff a little bit, but like he had some like weird hesitations about certain things. And so I was like, okay, maybe he's just uncomfortable with the types of questions that I'm asking him or something, or maybe he's just not used to the interview format. I don't know. So I'm like, hey, well, tell me about that project that you were working on. I want to hear about that. And he's like, oh, it's just like an examination into like the business.
Thread of the weave here, whatever it is. All we found were more
Okay,
drow.
tell me about it.
If it were here,
Well, we just looked at like the profit margins and how like the marketing kind of corresponds to like which marketing campaigns actually drove business sales. Like, buddy, open your mouth, start talking. And this guy, for whatever reason, just like wouldn't tell me about what he did. And I'm like, okay, either he did no research and had no idea what he was talking about, or I guess like possibly thought maybe he thought negatively of the company or like found bad information and wouldn't talk about it. But I'm like, bro, we're in business. If you have ideas about how the business is supposed to be run and you don't want to talk about the business, you're not fit for the job. Like, just straight up. You want to work in sales and you don't want to talk about the numbers, you're not fit for the job. It is what it is. And I was like, yep, sayonara. See you, man. It was so confusing. I've never had somebody walk in and be like, yeah, I actually did a program in university, and in it, I did vigorously investigate and research your company, and I don't want to talk about it.
Damage to my slave operation here,
he says.
Fortunately,
Okay, I'm gonna wait a appropriate amount of time.
what are the lives of a few more?
Okay, is this good? Anna's taken like major damage. Okay, I think it's good. The drow are coming out. The archers in the back.
You were the go-to guy, and you couldn't fix the not mixing A and B together? Pretty sus.
True. God, that was an awesome nightmare. To be fair, I had nothing to do with that. That was somebody else entirely that handled that whole thing. Also, not our fault. The training was done properly, and the information was given properly. The implementation was not given properly, but that's not my fault. Oh, damn it. Yeah, dude, it's not my fault.
Anna thanks you once again.
Hey man, listen, when I learned something. When it's your fault and you're dealing with large contracts, you usually have to pay for it in the business world, and we didn't have to pay for anything because it was not our fault. Did I get it? Did I inadvertently, because of the mistakes of somebody, end up getting to sell under the 30 grand? Yeah, I did. Oh, that looked good on the that looked good on the P&L. Oh, it looked very good on the P&L. Tell you what. Yeah, that was another one. So, P&L stands for profit and loss. It's a pretty standard report that you'll have at pretty much any business. It is how much money did you make and how much money did you spend. It's a really basic report. A lot of large companies, it's something really easy to examine. It's very important. Very common term. But also, it's important because it's a full examination of pretty much your entire business. So, if you are in a competing business and somebody else can see your P&L and where you're spending money and where you're losing money and how much money you're making, that's just free intel. And that's very, very useful intel. I took toughness because I wanted to have more hit points. Very, very good intel. Something you don't want your competitors to have. And I still remember somebody who I was mentoring. I had given them materials because we were going over business plans and stuff. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I get a phone call from this guy. And he's like, hey, I have a package. Where can I meet you? And I'm like, oh, I just assumed it was something that was getting delivered to me normally. So I was like, oh, yeah, whatever. I'm at this location. Oh. Look at this item. Dodge 10, resistance 7? Oh. I can't even tell the story right now. Oh my god. Onto the friggin' wrists you go. Wowzers. 5% extra dodge and 3 to all saves. Wow. Amazing. Anyway. This guy finally shows up when I tell him where I am. And he goes like, oh, hey, he's like, yeah, I found this on the ground. It was addressed to this person. And it was a file that I was familiar with. And he found it at Lansdowne Park, which is a large stadium where the Red Blacks play for CFL, Canadian football, and also where there's tons of music and concerts and all sorts of stuff. It's basically a big arena downtown. And he's like, yeah, I just found this on the ground and it had your address on it, so I figured I'd return it to you. And then and I'm like, oh god. And then he's like, yeah, I'm very familiar. He's like, I've seen a few P&Ls before, so I figured you wouldn't want to lose this. The person that I was supposed to be mentoring somehow managed to lose all of the important confidential documents of the company randomly at a public place. How? I don't know. But we had a very big talk after that one. He's like, yeah, you wouldn't want this getting in the wrong hands. I'm like, thank you so much for just giving that back to me, or whatever. I'm like, you also could have thrown it in the garbage, but whatever, it's fine. But I'm like, holy guacamole. Yeah, it's not shitters, dude. That was a good item. Yeah, that was a moment. That was a moment in time. Piece of history. Again, people screwing up at work is very satisfying. Just listening to people screwing up stories is a deeply satisfying thing for me. I very much enjoy it. I let a window replacement guy use my garage for a neighbor's pickup windshield a couple months ago. Cold, rainy, snowy, so we couldn't really do it outside. Broken selling epoxy too. I told him to not mix the story. He was very amused. But yeah, because again, it's important to note that that story is like, that is not a very, like, an extremely uncommon experience that happens all the time. All the time. And it's a really expensive mistake. Hang on, I gotta refresh chat at Strimtom. Hold on. Who's doing what? Just tell me when I need to do a thing. I'll do whatever. I'll add other emotes. I don't really think for myself, but you know. Emote? Is it already in the thing? I'm just waiting for Cruiser. He said he has to refresh something, so I'm just waiting. Nice boost. 28 speed, 8 insightful balance for this fighter Vanguard. Balance is not my favorite stat, although it can be useful. I'm more of a you know, I like the speed. The speed is great. More of a, like, a dexterity sort of feller. But you know what? Balance also not bad. When you get knocked over, you don't have to deal with it. Pretty good. They're just like using BTTV. I mean, you don't have to use Chatterino, but yeah. It's a useful program. I actually don't have any of the windows I had open. Shit. I'm gonna make sure I don't die here on Hardcore League, because that would be embarrassing after the comeback today if I died. Oh my god. Yeah, others started using 7TV. Yeah, I've heard that. Well, the thing I don't understand is, like... Actually, the thing I don't understand... Why you need to use another, like, chat program. There's already 2 chat programs. What's the benefit of another chat program? Better margins? It's, like, less expensive? Like, dude, getting all the emotes on BTTV is, like $4 a month or something? Like, it's literally $4.
Catching up with some old acquaintances.
And how many slots do we have left? Like 100? Like Goofy? With some emotes? Yes, so does Franker Face Z. I'm sure there's reasons as well that is the case. I need to shrine, actually. Yeah, I am having mana issues on this character, I'll say that. It has looser restrictions, but how? Because, like, FFZ has stuff like Why People Happy and other things. I'm using it, but I'm starting to feel like a boomer. Yeah, exactly, same here. Same deal. Like I said, I think about, like, the business angle, like, where's the money going? Because if something like that exists, you need it. What the hell is this? Fish moly? Why is... Okay. I'm not super against this, but I am curious as to why a coelacanth is an emote. Again, very cool fish. Very cool fish. I like the coelacanth. Very cool fish. I just don't get it. Don't need to make wide emotes anymore? Yeah, I know that. But I'm like, there's got to be a reason why. That makes sense? Like, how come you can't make wide emotes? Is the question. Of course she's an Avernus Battle Ranger. I hate how when stunned, Zyra Dunbro can still, like, do whatever she wants. It's, like, literally frozen. She's like, yeah, you know what? I'm just gonna steal some souls. Gotcha. Gotcha.
You've secured most of the village from drow patrols. Now it's time to find their field headquarters and
It also
destroy
says
it.
auto equal audio for streamers with terrible audio. Do I have terrible audio? I hope I don't have terrible audio. I try to put a good amount of time into making sure the audio sounds pretty reasonable and it's balanced well. Because I think that that is an important part of the streaming experience. Because something I've learned after watching like old cartoons and old videos on YouTube, a video can literally look like you put like you rubbed your screen with sandpaper, and it's still watchable. But the second like a bad microphone comes through, it's like the most unwatchable piece of garbage in the universe.
Insignificant village can stand against Lord's armies. She will take what she wants and leave nothing but.
Oh, that's kind of cool. Oh, auto fix audio? Sick. Yeah, 100%. And that's honestly like something that for a long time, I think that it's gotten a lot better, but I remember like years ago when there were not many people that were streaming like Dungeons and Dragons online. A lot of the people that were trying to also get into the space were people who didn't really know much about live streaming, so they would either just use like their webcam mic or like, you know, the one built into their laptop or whatever, or just would have the settings off, and also just sit in silence a lot. So you'd have people, you'd want to tune into a cool live stream, and it was difficult for me back in the day when I would want to raid people, because I'd try to raid people, but you'd go to somebody's stream to raid them, and they're like just like straight up dead silent saying nothing, or they would start to talk, and all of a sudden it's like right in your ear socket, and you're like, oh god, what is happening to my video game and my life? Why is this happening to me? Why? And you don't know, and it's all bad. But like I said, the content and the other people that are making content, it's gotten like a lot better all over the place. And I think also people just understand streaming a lot better now than they did like 4 or 5 years ago. It's, you know, it's just such a more prolific thing than it used to be, I think. Like, people were streaming, but I think it's just, it takes time to reach some of the older audiences, and I think that older audiences are a big makeup of the Dungeons & Dragons online community.
The village is safer now. Though Cormier will never
2023, if you're gonna share
be
content, spend
while
cash,
Lord
please.
schemes
Yeah, good idea.
against it.
Like I said, I have my nice and expensive Blue Yeti microphone. It is not one of the extremely expensive condenser mics that like a lot of live streamers will use, where they get like the like $500 mic. It's good enough. It gets the job done. Do you really need to hear the exact sound of every single molecule of air as it leaves my lungs and goes into your ear canal? Maybe, but I don't want to provide that. Three YouTubers in the DDO stream category at once. Not really an overlap I'd expect. Yeah. I will admit this. I don't really entirely understand VTubing from the perspective of like wanting to or like partaking in, I guess. Like I'm a boomer in this regard. That being, I'm not saying that there's any problem with people that are doing it. It makes sense from the perspective of like, I guess you want to, some people don't feel comfortable like getting up on stage, getting up in front of people. And so having a digital avatar is a very good way to kind of sidestep that whole problem, because you can just feel a lot more comfortable because it's not necessarily you that's directly in front of everybody. It's a character. So, you know, it's a lot more comfortable for many people that don't want to have to put themselves in that type of scenario. So I can understand that for sure. Oh, I haven't done enough stuff for this guy? Damn it. You sound like garbage. Honestly, you don't really need an expensive microphone to sound pretty good. You can buy just go to like your local video game store and buy like the cheapest Logitech microphone you can buy for like 20 to 30 bucks, and you'll be fine. Wants the gameplay to be focused, not him. Well, yeah, but the other thing too is metrics are metrics. So if you are producing content like I'm doing, right? If I don't stream without a camera, I don't have like half of the viewership, because people expect to see someone. You want to see the reactions, right? So when I found out that my character was alive and I beat the quest, dude, I was screaming. I was yelling. I was jumping up and down. I was so excited. And that is part of the stream. Whether you are actually looking at that area, there's that moment. It's the same reason why you'll see a lot of content creators when, you know, there's like a highly edited video that I don't have because I edit my videos myself and I spend a lot of time live streaming. So between live streaming and video editing, it takes a lot of time, where something will happen and then you have the crash zoom onto the content creator's face where because they're in the corner and they're like, what? And it blows it up on the whole screen and everything because you can see their reaction because it's meant to be capturing all of that. It's harder to do that when you don't have the video. That being said, I don't think that every single content creator out there has to appeal to the same standard or do the same thing. There are lots of content creators that stream without any camera whatsoever. You had like Dream, who made all of his content without a camera. A live streamer that I enjoy watching is ZFG. He streams without a camera. So like, there are lots of people that are very successful and don't use a camera, but it is not the norm. It is the exception. Definitely not the norm. Now, is a VTubing avatar a better something or like a better medium than having no camera? I actually don't know. I am curious to see if I don't know if there's any stats in terms of like distribution of whether you get more or less views between using like using a camera versus not using a camera. On average is going to give you more views because you're more relatable and more personal. But a VTuber to no camera, I have no idea. VTuber models are insane. Absolutely, yeah. They put a lot of detail and work into it. It's cool. I don't do it. I don't partake in the content or watch it, but it's cool. I'm glad people do it and they enjoy it. Okay, wait a minute. How come I can't see pause champ now? Did you move pause champ? Hey, did you remove pause champ? What happened? Got rid of my pause champ. Point of VTubing is to have something to look at without having to semi-dox yourself. True. You guys do know what I look like, which means because you know what I look like, you can like, you know, find out where I live, and you can come here, and you can stand outside my window and like breathe the air that comes out of it. Probably took down the one we had. Oh, true, yeah. Very true. Actually, no, a really good office mic. I'm sure it's a little ball mic on a stand, under $100, way better than you expected. Oh yeah. Yeah. So like I said, I think that you shouldn't like write off something like that, where a lot of people will write off those types of things and be like, oh, it's just weird and strange and different. But like, hey, things have to start out being weird and strange and different until they become like accepted. And it's not that weird to not want to be on camera. That's probably one of the most common things. Like, the most common fear is the fear of public speaking. I think. I heard that somewhere, and I'm just stealing that without doing any research myself, which is also a thing I do all the time. But one of the most common fears for sure is public speaking. And so the idea of not really wanting to be on camera and to show off your whole face and show off, like, guys, check it out. Like, let's just imagine that for 1 second you live in like a total shithole, right? So you like don't do any cleaning or washing or washing. You're just surrounded by garbage all the time. You're okay with that, but unfortunately you don't want to put that image towards everybody else because a lot of people probably won't be okay with that. They'll bully you, they'll insult you, they'll be like, that's gross, or like, isn't that a health violation? Or like, are you okay? You should see a doctor. And maybe you don't want to deal with all those problems. So the solution, or the easier solution, is to just have no camera or VTube. Granted, if you have a bunch of shit behind you, you can't VTube anyway because you need a lot of light and a really good green screen and sometimes multiple camera angles to make it work. And a lot of software, and it's expensive. But, you know, I'm just saying.
But they have failed. Through it, you can strike directly at the
new emote is added. Super cool. Oh, does it? Oh.
The chasm ahead drops deeper and deeper into the Underdark.
Wait.
Down into places that even
did I lose my bardic inspiration? What the hell?
Most assuredly, dominating the center of Shindelrin is an immense ziggurat.
If there was a Warforged VTuber avatar, I think that would be kind of interesting. If you could have one that would just like be you, but you're a Warforged. VTubing. Oh, there it is. Yeah, I actually do use Chatterino because I really like some of the chat options it gives me. Instantaneous access to chat history is really nice, and a whole bunch of detail about different chatters, which is helpful whenever I'm deciding whether I want to ban somebody, because they say things that are against what I think.
This grand courtyard serves as the
I read
entry
that stuff,
point
didn't I?
for the
Yeah, I did.
sprawling House
Yeah, I did.
End compound. According to your sources, the laboratory with the
The original
flash
commonplace and expected it
lies
is to compromise your own
somewhere to
privacy
the
online.
north.
Yep,
House
absolutely.
End is
Well, I was just thinking about this the
extremely
other day. Like, I went to buy a shirt at a store. I went to the shirt store to buy a shirt, and while I was there, the person just did like the friggin' pro gamer move, where you're like at the cash, and they're like, I'm like, yeah, I'll buy this shirt. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, is that it? You good? I'm like, yeah. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they're like, put in your email. And I've been on the other side of the table. I'm like, yeah, I don't want to do that. And they're like, no, you just like put in the email. I'm like, I don't want to do that. They're like, but it signs you up for like the rewards program or whatever. I'm like, yeah, I know, but I don't want to do that. It's like, okay, cool. And then I just paid for my stuff. And the reason why is the pro gamer move. You don't ask somebody, hey, do you want to sign up for our rewards program? Because you can get all these things if you buy from our store frequently. Because most people go, oh, corporate speak. No, I don't want that. And they say no immediately. Even if they actually do shop at the store frequently and they would use some of the benefits, like, let's just imagine for a moment that you're somebody who does shop at a store continuously. There's a good chance that you might actually benefit from being signed up to a rewards program. Rewards programs are designed to convince you to come back to the store versus the competitor, but realistically, like, if you're going to go to a fast food place because you're like somebody who has no control over their diet, like myself, and you're just going to go to like McDonald's anyway, being part of the McDonald's program means I'm less likely to go to Wendy's because I'm going to go eat fast food. That's just going to happen. And so it's a smart business idea for it's a smart idea for businesses, and you can get benefits as a consumer. Now, the long-term detriment is that now you're put into a cycle where you're basically subservient to the business in question. But you know, that's don't think about that too hard. Anyway, so as we were just talking about the pro gamer move is you don't ask somebody, you know, hey, do you want to be a part of this program, yes or no? You just say, can I get your email and phone number, please? And a lot of people just don't think about it because it's just such a natural reaction to be like, oh yeah, email, it's this. It's poopface@shit.com. They're like, okay, cool. And phone number? Like, yeah, it's 123 456 78 910 11 12. Like, yeah, cool, sounds good, no problem. And they don't even think about it. It doesn't even register in their mind. That is like something that they should be aware of. And it's like, as I said, it's the pro gamer move. Actually asking somebody is like not necessarily going to work, but just flat out going email and whatever is much more successful. Also, I am native levels.
By the way, thanks for the repeater build you made back over a year ago.
Yo,
Was surprised it's over a year after they added the expanded clip feat. Looking forward to getting to epic so games.
Dude, how do I get into this kitchen? I don't know. I need to learn this quest without traps. I'm so lost. Oh my god. I don't understand how to do this quest. I don't know where to go. Oh, this literally happened to me last time where I didn't know where to go and I got lost. I still don't know where to go. Except now I'm on the mana crunch where I'm gonna run out of mana because I don't know where the shrines are. You know what? Fuck this. I'm just buying a bell. I don't know how to do this quest. That's how DDO gets me. I don't know how to do this quest. I'm just buying a bell. I'm not gonna learn it. There will be YouTube comments being like, it's actually very easy. You actually just go this way. Or even people, you guys right now, being like, I actually go this way. No, that's too hard. I can't figure it out. I know I have to go through this door. I don't know how to get through this door, so I'm giving up. Done. I'm leaving. Went to usually go behind the altar. Yeah, I don't know. I was just trying here. I need that. The other ones are like super wicked fast, but this one there's like, I don't know. It's also fast if you can open logs. But they sell your info to purchases for other companies in the U.S. Ask a free mail phone number without telling them you're signing up for a rewards program is illegal. Maybe, but then you also have to like prove that that's what happened. Then like, is it really illegal? You know what I mean? Like, is it really illegal? If you know, like, yeah, the staff didn't ask you, but if the staff are trained and told specifically, the mandate is that they have to tell you, and then the staff just doesn't do it because they like forget or they don't care. Is that illegal?
Hey streamer, here's my recommendation. Don't bother doing the quest because it's cringe. Then you don't have to find out how to do it at Gage.
True. I'm buying a bell. Don't do this. Do the quest properly. But I can't figure it out. So I'm just buying a bell. I don't care. This is the only bell I'm gonna buy, and I'm very happy with this. Oh, bell. I actually buy stacks of bells specifically for this quest alone.
The guards watching the ritual chamber
Consent by having you sign something. There you go. I don't think they have to do that here. I don't think so anyway. I need poison immunity, and then I'm gonna blow this guy up. Get him out of here. I could be wrong though. By the way, pro game removed. Dude, I shrined and I... Oh my god, my Death Ward guy is dead. Okay, I gotta kill this real fast. Please die. Please die. Stop not dying. Why do you have so many hit points per second? Oh god, why do I do this to myself? Oh, I need Death Ward. But my guy is dead. Okay. There are more monsters around here that I haven't aggroed, and I don't know where they are. I'm just gonna skip all of this by blowing up the cauldron, and then casting Dimension Door, and then taking it.
As the ritual chamber burns.
Problem solved. Also, important note: I have no idea what repeater build you're talking about. It's been over a year. That's one of the hardest things, I think, for me when it comes to, like, people ask me questions about builds. They'll be like, oh, hey, for your ranger build, what do I do with this? I'm like, oh, man. What? For my what? Which build? Because I just have too many. And so I feel bad because I want to be able to have the answer, like, right away. But, God, the builds in DDO are so complicated and they have so much shit in them. And I put out so many, sometimes I don't know. It would be cool to have like a perfect memory and to be able to hold on to all of that information. I can't do that, but it would be cool if I could.
It leads to the furthest reaches of the Underdark, the surface realms,
like this Falcon Wolf build using from 2019. Yeah, exactly. I wish I could like conjure all that information on command. That's why I write it down. I don't have that memory. I mean, I do have a pretty good memory for a lot of things, and I can usually remember the details once I get there. Like when I see the thing written, I can go like, oh yeah, right. Last time you did an Artie repeater build? Oh, yeah, of course, yeah, the last Artie repeater build. Yeah, duh, of course. I don't know what I was thinking. Clearly I wasn't thinking, so thank you for jogging my memory. My memory feels fully exercised, actually. So, you know, they say you're supposed to get 10,000 steps a day, but that memory's gotten like 20,000. Cool. You just jogged it.
For demonstrations, tests, and ceremonies.
Kind of crazy how time goes by so quickly. Yeah, it's horrifying, actually. You say kind of crazy. As I get older, I'm currently 30. I'm turning 31 this year. How? When? What happened in the last couple of years? I'm getting older. I'm becoming more decrepit. I went to the store. I don't remember why. No, I was coming home. I don't know. I was coming home. And I had to go to the bathroom. And I was like, oh, I'll just like jog a little bit closer to the house because I just wanted to get home slightly faster. But as I was like slightly jogging, I wasn't getting tired, but I was just like, man, I wouldn't even thought about that when I was younger. But now that I'm older, I think about these things where I'm like, oh, that's extra physical, whatever. But like 5 years ago, I would have just like started running. Like, oh, geez. Your feet makes you feel like you have a machine gun. Oh, is that the video? Amazing.
The bell reverberates in the courtyard.
Fighter Vanguard, but you made 5 years ago. Can you explain to me why you took that epic destiny? Yeah, I can, because it was the best one at the time.
Hey Cruiser, Brian here.
Oh, yeah?
Here's my recommendation. If you want to be the best Euro Truck Simulator driver, you should
Yep.
watch at least 100 hours of Ice Road Truckers while waiting for a new wheel, or you're really
Actually,
not a real
base
trucker.
take.
Also
Yep.
might need some Copenhagen.
Yeah. Copenhagen or Copium, one of the two. But yeah, if you do want to be the best trucker driver, Euro truck driver, you should definitely go out and watch 100 hours of Ice Road Truckers. Yeah, just straight up fact. Base take. Words. I'm
The
11.
weaponmaster of Dunrabar lies dead. Who would
Copacetic?
believe
No.
This was the work of a
Do people still
mere
do people say copacetic
One or
anymore?
another drow house will be blamed, and their alliance will crumble,
Copacetic.
just like the weaponmaster's blade.
In excellent order. He said to tell you everything is copacetic. What's the origin of this word? Go dictionary. Merriam-Webster. As possible as 1880s. There you go. The origin of words is largely a very, very, very boring field of study that is sometimes very interesting, depending on the word. A lot of variability. To be fair, that you could actually just apply what I just said to every single field of study in the entire universe, because there's a lot of boring things in every field of study. Like nuclear rocket science sounds pretty cool until you realize there's a lot of like boring math in there, and I gotta talk about the steel of the rocket and how it's made with a certain heat density, so that way it doesn't, you know, deform and all this other nonsense. And it's like, oh, this actually sounds really boring. The show, but it's like reality TV isn't stuff to do fake AF. Well, yeah. But reality TV is supposed to be about reality.
Hi
in some
Brian,
capacity.
Cruiser here. Lamau,
Oh.
if you think I'm gonna watch a bunch of truckers do baby shit like drive on ice, I'll be meditating in my room while I wait for my new steering wheel to prepare for the real thing, simulating driving through Europe. Meditate.
To be just one more harmless
Honestly, very true. Very true.
to be bound
Um,
and forced into
You know,
service.
realistically, driving on ice is solid. Europe has like rivers. Europe has lakes. I think there might be an ocean in there, and now you have to Euro truck all over that. Way easier than Euro trucking on way harder than Euro trucking on ice. Straight up. Good job, Cruiser. I'm proud of you. Don't let that voice from deep space bully you. Like, let me bully you, but don't take anything from that voice from deep space.
I have no idea if it's fake, probably. I drive some trucks too on the farm and offered to let Cruiser drive them, but he said he got his $100 wheel, so he's heavily invested.
That's true. I mean, to be fair, the trucks that you're driving, don't you, like, pay people for that? Not that you do currently pay people, but, like, in theory, that would be something that you would pay for, as opposed to Cruiser having to pay $100 to
A guard
have his
captain
wheel.
investigates the racket.
What's going on here? Who let these
Oh, the
captains out?
$200 wheel. That's a lot of dollars for a wheel. So, I used to have Mario Kart on Nintendo Wii, and it came with a little piece of plastic. And what you would do is you would actually take the Nintendo Wii controller, and you would put it in the little piece of plastic. It's like this hard circular wheel thing. And you would put it in and you would hold it. And I used to call it the wheel because it was like a Nintendo Wii wheel. So it was the wheel. Good
The
times.
slave pen yards lead down into the main slave quarters. You will only find collared, obedient slaves in
It was a
here.
very hard game to play because you have to turn. I will say it was the easiest Mario Kart game to get people who don't play video games into, because usually with video games you have to like use a controller as like an analog for your movements, but in Mario Kart you just tilt the thing to go left and right, and it was very intuitive right away.
The slave master quickly calls out.
But then people will still overcorrect. We're like, I gotta turn left. Whoa! And you're like, oh god.
An exasperated voice comes.
Quick question: Barovian, heavy, light, or repeating crossbow? Go with your heart, cruiser. Do you have a heavy heart today, or do you have a light heart today? Like, when you want to start a conversation with somebody, do you start with, it is with heavy heart? Or are your conversations more lighthearted and calm? Let that guide you. What? What did I do? You're normally lighthearted. Oh. Because I didn't give you a real
In
answer?
the kitchens, slaves cook and clean under a slave
You're,
master's watchful eye.
do you have imbue dice
The slave master
and sneak attack? I don't remember the build at all.
Slave in my kitchen?
Okay. If you have imbue dice, then I would say that the light might be slightly better. Yeah, if you have the new imbue from Artie and the imbue dice in tier 4, because you get the imbue in tier 3, and then you get 3 imbue dice in the tier 4. If you happen to have that, I would say that it's not bad, or it's better to take the light, because the light's just going to shoot a little bit faster.
slaves.
Yeah, so it's not 1d6, it's
large rooms
4d6s.
of spider
And
silk,
4d6s
weaving
is
fine
4d's
garments
nuts!
for noble drow. The slave master
He's
takes
got him.
great
Holy
note of
moly,
them.
this guy.
The slaves are free of their master's control for now. It is time to face the heart of Avathul's power. The slave breaker.
But seriously, you take the light one.
An
Or do you take the
authoritative
heavy?
voice can be heard down the hall.
But yeah, you should take the light. The light shoots slightly faster. It is, to my understanding, negligible, but faster attack speed feels good.
What are you waiting for?
And it's a 3 damage difference per shot. So you're going to do, on average, 3 per mouse click. You'll do 3 less damage with the light. But in theory, it attacks like 1.x% faster. So it's pretty negligible either way, but I do like the feel of faster attacks because faster attacks usually feel good. Because then you get more attacks, like you can make more moves in between.
Slaves in open revolt and the slave-making apparatus in shambles. The great house
Here we go.
will be pulling their support from the others.
I can actually look it up here in
Focusing on
chat,
their own problems.
in-game. Feats. Show unavailable. Ranged feats. Rapid reload. There you go. Repeating heavy, damn it. Ah, it's gone. Why do you do this to me, video game? Ranged. Rapid reload. Repeating heavy and repeating light, it's a 5% difference in speed. It would be kind of cool if the game just told you what your attack speed was. They can output that, right? You gotta be able to output that. Display that somewhere? Wait, what's this new Discord feature? What? Choose your channels. Customize what's on your channel list so you just see the stuff you care about. Tip, channels with mentions always appear on your channel list. Wait, can I hide channels I don't want to look at in Discords? Or just some Discords? Huh. I only have that option in one channel. Weird. Anyway, sorry, I was staring at Discord because I got distracted because I'm tired because it's been 10 hours or something. 10 hours of sitting here playing video games. Oh, it's so hard, man. My life is so challenging. Anyway, enough about me. Oh, Charisma 10. No, but I need the Darkstorm Helm because it's funny. So I'm going to stick with the Darkstorm Helm for now. And do the portal opens. Grab Dragon Scales to the defense. Let's see here. Okay, so what am I actually taking? I think I'm not going to take this because I want to be able to take Evergreen and also Draconic Heritage at the same time. So I think I'm not spending in points right now. Zergus Maximus, welcome. What's up? How you doing? Yeah, exactly. You can see the attack speed bonus, right? agreed. So you can see the attack speed bonus in the tree. So if you go to like melee combat, you can see your bonuses. Ranged combat. But it would be nice if it could actually tell you your number of attacks per second. It'd be kind of cool. I don't know if they can calculate that, but they should be able to calculate that. Just have the weapon in hand and then have it multiply by your attack speed and tell you what your attack time is.
Has become known as the city of
Then it would make it really easy to compare different weapons and different combat styles. Because then we wouldn't need to guess about it. I could see maybe they don't want to do that because then they would have like, you know, all the nitty-gritty community would come in and there'd be a lot of disparity between some of the stuff, but... Also, unrelated, but if you guys are huge nerds like me, you might want to know, Mega Latios is coming to Pokemon Go again at the end of the month. So if you need Mega Latios and you didn't catch it, which I didn't, end of the month in February, and Valentine's Day, they're going to be debuting Mega Gardevoir. It's being added to Pokemon Go, and Gardevoir is the best fairy in the game. So Mega Gardevoir is going to be the best fairy in the game, but Mega. So, would recommend. Just, you know, for you Pokemon Goers out there. And you might say, wait a minute, Strimtom, are you still playing Pokemon Go? Isn't it a frigid wasteland where you are? Yes, it is. It's a frigid wasteland. It is minus like 100 degrees. It snowed for like 3 days straight this week. Actually, it snowed for almost 48 hours straight, which is very cool. And so you gotta love that. Yeah, it's just good, man. It's just cold. And a Cardagoa, and then also we have a winter extreme cold warning, where tomorrow it is going to be going down to minus 40 degrees. Oh, yeah. And you might be wondering, you might go, wait a minute, hold on, but that's degrees Canadian. So what's that in degrees freedom? Pop that into the old calculator. Turns out, minus 40 in degrees Canadian is also minus 40 degrees freedom. Oh, God. Not looking forward to that, but you know what? Fate. Oh, it's Elminster. What's up, buddy?
That sits high atop the ziggurat. Elminster has just arrived, meeting you as promised. Perhaps he has an idea on how
Pokemon Goers, yeah, I know. There's no Pokemon Goers. It's funny, because Pokemon Go is wildly successful and still makes a shitload of money today. There's so many people that play. But I feel like people don't talk about Pokemon Go anymore. It just never comes up in conversation. It'd be 80 degrees here in Florida.
The interior
I mean, yeah, but think about it. In Florida, you can start your car. Like, I won't, you know, we won't be able to start our cars here because it's too cold. And do I want to give that up to live in somewhere where it's 80 degrees right now? 80 degrees freedom. That's a lot of degrees of freedom, gonna be honest. Nah, I don't think I can deal with that. Like, I'm really Canadian, so we don't have any freedom here. So it would be a big shock. Block. It would be a big block to try to deal with that. Yeah, I don't know. I think it would be for the best if I don't to Florida. Very nice. I mean, the problem is, like, I don't really do a lot of meth. So I don't know if I want to move to Florida, if that would be the best idea. Which is interesting for those that don't know. The city of Ottawa is the meth capital of Canada. Right. I don't know if that's a good statistic, but it is a fact. Very cool.
It's Drow Guardian's dead. The spider brooch is now yours for the taking.
Go to the polls talking about the game is becoming increasingly embarrassing for people. Oh, because Pokemon go to the polls? Oh, man. Man, why Booners gotta ruin everything? You don't like Corona Light? Dude, oh my god, that was so annoying. Going to the bar, and literally they're like, yeah, we got buckets of Corona. And so we're like, yeah, we'll get a bucket of Corona. Sounds good. So we get a bucket of Corona and some nachos. And then the bucket shows up, and there's like a whole bunch of bottles of Corona Light. And I have to go to the server. I'm like, oh, hold on. we wanted just regular Corona. And they're like, yeah, it's Corona. I'm like, no, this is Corona Light. They're like, yeah, we only serve Corona Light. What's the point of Corona Light? Corona's a light beer. It's just water. They're charging me full price for the beer. And it's 3% alcohol by volume. You gotta drink 2 Coronas to equal like 1 regular Canadian beer. But it's the same price. Actually, it's more expensive because it's Corona. Absolute madness. But yeah, that was fun. But yeah, I don't know, maybe. I just know that Pokemon Go is super duper popular. Whenever there's the big Pokemon Go events that they have going on, so when they have like the big community days and other stuff, like this Sunday is what Pokemon is it? Noibat is going to be out this Sunday. I'm going to be going to public places with my brother to catch some Noibats, and we're going to catch the Pokemon, and they're going to be like, they're going to be everywhere, but there's also going to be people catching Pokemon everywhere. Like, there's still going to be a bunch of people playing. Like, I rode the bus, I don't know, during the summertime. I was just sat down playing Pokemon Go because the bus goes everywhere, so the benefit is you can just very easily, like, just slurp up all the Pokemon as you go past. That's the wrong word, but anyway. You just scoop them all up. And I just sat down, and this dude sitting next to me is like, oh my god, is that Pokemon Go? I'm like, yeah. He's like, oh, I haven't played in, like, I haven't played the game since it came out. I'm like, yeah, well, it's really good. You can play it if you want. Oh man, I thought it was dead. I thought nobody played it. I'm like, nah, it's like the 3rd most downloaded app in the App Store. Dude, I don't know. And this is the thing that I don't like about Pokemon Go, is that the company that manages it, Niantic, they have to make like $100 billion a year. I haven't seen their financial statements because I'm too lazy to look it up. But it's such a popular game. They have to have a lot of money. That game should run better than it does.
Take the ceremonial dagger.
You're number 1 in something? Yeah, I love that.
Now that you've found both magical components, Elminster can open the portal
Went
within
to Krakow,
the main
Poland a few
chamber.
years back. They have 10% beer in every store. Yeah. You can get some of that in Quebec. If I drive over to Quebec, get some malt liquor. It's 13% alcohol beer or beer adjacent products. You don't like Canadian beer? That's bizarre. Like, you know, I've said this before and I'll say it again. I don't really have a preference for like any region of beer. There's nowhere on earth where I'm like, this product is bad and it comes from this region, or this product is good and it comes from this region. Every product is going to be different. I'm not a huge fan of craft beers because craft beers are usually just like, who can make their beer the hoppiest competition. Like, I don't really want that. It is generally not something that I want. I really don't like IPAs, and I never will, but yet that seems to be every craft beer you buy. That, and also, I don't know how big the craft beer, like, scene is in my area, so it's just not something I care too much about. I'll just go drink my Belgian Moon and call it a day.
The Temple of Loth lies before you.
For Americans out there, Belgian Moon is, in America, it's called the Blue Moon. We just, it's called Belgian Moon here because there already was a company selling a beer called Blue Moon. So the beer is marketed as Belgian Moon instead. Good product. So when I go to the States, I have to remember that and be like, can I get a Blue Moon? Because if I don't do that, I say, can I get a Belgian Moon? And then the person serving me stares at me and doesn't know what I'm talking about. And thinks I'm asking for, like, either, like, a strange mixed drink or something else. Guinness Shiner Black or Corona, not Corona Light. Yeah. I should do that every time I go to a restaurant. Just be like, yeah, can I get a Corona? Not a Corona Light. Not a light, but I would like a Corona, please. But not a Corona Light. Don't you dare. How dare you give me Corona Light? I asked for Corona. That Blue Moon on tap is better than the bottled stuff? That could be a crock of shit. I mean, I don't know. Like, here's the problem, right? It's Blue Moon on tap is better than the bottled stuff. How do you know the difference? by your second beer? Straight up question. If you had the first beer, you might tell a difference. Now you're on the second beer. Do you even notice anymore? No. It's like, I don't really like red wine. Not a big fan. White wine, I like. But I find red wine just, I don't know, something about the flavor, and I'm not a huge fan. But like, the second glass of red wine, it's pretty good. The third glass of red wine, oh man. You know what? Red wine's not too bad. It's pretty good.
Now she has the thread of the weave.
To be fair, though, I think it all depends on like your personality and how you're affected by alcohol. I find I'm usually very relaxed and I get into a good mood. Although I've cultivated that in myself personally by making it so that if I'm ever not in a good mood, I do not drink any alcohol whatsoever. I completely avoid the stuff because I want to only have it be like something that I want to do if I'm having a good time. So that way I don't. I'm very cautious about like developing a type of negative dependency. So if I'm having a bad day, where it's usually like, you know, you have a bad day, so you have like a glass of wine when you get home from work, or like a beer or something, or you just drink a glass of whiskey like these guys in these old TV shows and stuff. I don't do any of that nonsense. If I'm not in a good mood, I'll go I'll chat with some friends, or I'll do something else to make me better. Heavily fruited sours or smoothie sours, where it's at. Well, that's the other thing too, is like, as I've gotten older, I just like getting a pleasant buzz sometimes. It's just nice. Like when I was when I traveled down south, I went to the Dominican Republic, and it was just cool to be in a pleasant buzz all day. Also, I had a lot of pina coladas. It's a great beverage. Pina colada. Points I can spend Dragonborn Wings, Dragonborn Spell Points, and Pen, Water Savant 4 Spell Power, Sprint 3 versus 1 Falconry. I think if you can't have the keybind space for it, Dragonborn Wings. Because the wings let you reposition quickly in combat, and it also means you don't have to spend the points in the Epic Destiny Wings. Or you can have both of them. Ooh, Charisma 10 Ring for level 25. Not bad. Deflecting. Spell Resistance, Insightful Magical Sheltering. Actually God tier, because I can use the Spell Resistance. Because that will give me Spell Resistance 43, which makes me immune to so many things. I got the key to the city. Let's go. Now I can teleport to Evening Star whenever I want. Yeah, buddy. Which of the new archetypes are cringe and which are poggers? That is a great question. Because living is for the weak. So I'm going to be continuing my adventure. It's been a pretty good time so far playing this bard. Honestly, you know, it hasn't been too hard to actually like progress through the game for the most part. It's been a little bit sketchy in epics. I've been a little nervous about some different scenarios, but for the most part, it hasn't been too bad. I've been able to kind of meander my way through most things. There are a couple areas that are going to be spooky and scary probably today, but we'll figure that out when we get there.
A fighter who has decided to give up fighting and just hold elves for a living.
Is that what an Eltrim is? If so, then that is my cross and I will bear it. Also, what's up, Elder Chris? Appreciate the support. Welcome back to the stream team. Hope you're doing super well. I'm glad to have you here. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I'm very grateful for you coming back in for 27 months. I'm looking forward to you posting gifs in my Discord, where you flex on me with your superior skills in a video game that I enjoy playing, but I'm not that good at. So thanks. Appreciate it. Also, I was up late last night streaming here on Twitch, for those of you that don't know. Because after I finished streaming last night, streamed some Destiny as well for like an extra 2 hours or so, which was good fun. It was good fun. I had a good time.
I think an Eltrim is the trim around a doorway.
I also think so. So first tip about the Demon Web. When you come into the Demon Web, I don't know my way through this Demon Web, and you don't either. So what you do is you come in and you look for a bridge right here. If you don't see a bridge right here, you just go back outside and reset the instance until you do see a bridge. That will allow you to find a very fast and clean way through the Demon Web. Without really any worry. So that is my first tip to you. So just go reset. Yes, I would like to reset the Demon Web, and then go in again, and do that until you get the bridge. There are ways to actually navigate the demon web without doing that, but then I have to show you that, and I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to reset it. It's like a 1 in 3, I think. It's either 50-50 or 1 in 3, somewhere around there. Oh, it's not crazy low odds, so you don't have to reset too many times. Unless you get unlucky and you have to reset like 9 or 10 times, which can happen. But it is what it is. So hopefully that won't be the case. But it probably will. But, yeah, there's a lot of interesting parts about this. I will be very aggressively using hirelings in here. There's also, I need to be careful about several of the spellcasters with some of their dangerous spells. Unlike the fighter, who is a Warforged, immune to most different types of crowd control and negative effects, this character is not. So I need to be a little bit more self-assured about that. So there's the bridge. I'm going to quickly grab this message here from Lol. I'm going to kill some of the monsters along the way, although not too many. Just like some rares. Like there's a rare right here, so I might as well just like knock it out of the park. Apparently it died really fast. I forgot how crazy the damage is versus monsters on normal difficulty. So, you know, pick up some of these messages. The messages give you 2,000 experience each. So every, you know, just for walking in here, I've already gotten 8,000 XP. Click on this, boom, we're up to 11,000 or 1111111 XP. Or you can know the secret, jump off at the start. You can, but I don't know that. No, you just climb up here, and then there's the first quest right there. Super easy to get to. However, I don't just jump right down there. I come up here because... That's right. Wasn't trying to flex on you with the GIF? Oh, no, I'm aware of that. It's what you typed it afterwards. You said, since Strim specifically asked for it, we should show him real gamer moves and flex on him. I did. Oh, that was a rare. Damn it. I missed it. And now I'm going to be doing this quest, Trial by Fury, which is a pretty straightforward adventure. There's a whole bunch of ways to skip and run through this quest. I'm not going to do any of those skips because I don't know how to do them. Instead, I'm just going to play through the quest as the gods intended by killing monsters and doing puzzles. Now, it's important to note that the puzzles in here, there is a way to actually use your brainstem to solve them. And on my solo fighter playthrough, somebody posted a guide on how to actually do it. But I'm lazy and I don't want to learn things, like most people, so instead I'm just going to use a computer that's going to calculate everything for me, which is what I'm going to do. Because as I said, I don't really want to have to learn things, so we're not going to do that. So instead, I'm going to click the Jewel of Might here. I'm going to come over to this puzzle. I'm going to grab this. You don't have to do both of them. If you don't do any puzzle solving, you can just do the Jewels of Might, which can also save you some time. But, you know, it is what it is. So I'm going to type into my Google Shroud Solver, and I'm going to pull up a Shroud Solver. So this is like a Shroud Solver you can get right here for the Shroud. So I can just plug in the information. So, you know, I got my little Shroud Solver here. So I'm going to edit this, and it's going to look, you know, something like that. So this is what it looks like. And I'm going to click Solve, and then it tells me I just have to press this button and this button. And that's it. It's amazing. So you can save yourself a lot of time if you're good at clicking stuff in, or if you're good at just solving these puzzles automatically because you're good at pattern recognition and you've also practiced this, you should be fine. But again, I could take the time to practice it, but I'm pretty quick on just dumping it into the platform, or like the puzzle solver. If you don't have a second monitor, obviously you might have a little bit more trouble dumping it into the puzzle solver, but yeah. So I guess it depends on, you know, work within your means is what I would say. If you happen to have more room in your like hippocampus and your medulla oblongata, then like, yeah, obviously I would think it's a good idea to use those parts of your brain to improve your speed at which you get through some of these things. But again, I don't have that, so I gotta work with what I got. That's what I'm doing. I'm out of space, man. My hard drive is full. There is also an Android app for the solver, and the Android app for the solver is very, very good. I'm a huge fan of the Android app for the solver. Hey, Albus, you're on active, and there's monsters hitting you. Do you want to do something about it? Because if the answer is no, I guess that's cool, but, you know, could do something about your problems. I don't know. Teach AI to solve MMO puzzle? I mean, I don't think it's AI. I think it's just, like, literally the puzzle. I mean, you could probably get some type of AI that will auto-solve it when you like look at it. It just like brings up an overlay that has the information about what you need to press to solve it. You just need to use the solve down method. Oh, I know. Somebody commented that on my YouTube video on the last one that I did. Ask ChatGPT. So I think I've seen quite a few people making videos about this piece of software. It is interesting. I wonder if, like anything else, it's just going to be one of those fads where people make a whole bunch of videos and are talking about it for a month to a month and a half, and then everyone forgets about it. You know, standard internet fads. Not the piece of software itself. It's not going to go away, but the ideas, or like the number of people I see it pop up everywhere. The number of Google trending hits. Whoop. There we go. Make your new hardcore build. So it's important to note that creating characters that are effective for hardcore is not something that is exclusive to human beings. That is very much the realm of something that a robot can do just as well as I can, because the robot can calculate all the stats and parameters and everything you really need to solve the problem. So I don't want to hasten my own doom by having the chat bot learn to produce builds as good as, if not better than, the ones that I already currently produce. So I'm gonna avoid typing in character build information into the chat bot, or into the AI. But some of you guys can't, and I encourage you to have fun with your computer toys. Computer toys.
Defeated Shoaz, the Trider Guardian.
Yeah, I don't want it to like kind of like the problem solving is what AI is very, very good for, and so that's one of the reasons why like stuff like creating character builds is a very simple problem for AI to solve. In a lot of cases, it's the reason why you can always make some type of complex algorithm that can include in more factors to do that. The human element is more complicated to solve, so, you know, it would be probably a little bit harder to have an AI be an entertaining stream for the long term, but it would be easier to get an AI that can just spit out a DDO build on command that you need. Hey, what's up, Wickeden? How are you doing? Where am I going? I'm lost. I'm turned around. Also, Gwen, how are you doing? I haven't played around with it too much. Probably should at some point. It's a fun toy. I say fun toy because I'm sure there's like actual practical applications, but I don't know any of those because I'm not that smart. So for me, it would just be like a cool toy to play around with. Some DDO quests. It's just doing Necropolis in order to prove your worth. Yeah, but it learns, it gets there. It starts out not having the information, but then you just keep feeding it more data, and over time, it just has all the information you need. Don't think for a second that the AI won't be able to, you know, come up with some of the solutions for this. As I said, it's just it's an interesting problem. Artificial intelligence taking your jobs. They're taking every job. Did you used to draw or make any type of art? AI's taking your job. Did you used to drive vehicles? Trucking across the great US of A? AI's taking your job. Did you used to try to do some homework and do that book report about To Kill a Mockingbird? Well, guess what? AI's taking your job. It's all over. Soon there's gonna be nothing to do. No more job. Which, in theory, is like the idea that you have AI taking the jobs, so that way things are less expensive to produce and manufacture, and there's like a surplus of resources, so the cost goes down, and you don't need people to really work the same types of jobs, so people can transition to different types of work. But instead, what you have is companies that just use AI and other solutions to alleviate a lot of labor, which then removes the human element of something, and then by removing the human element, they end up saving a lot of money and don't pass the cost down to the consumer. But then the consumers, a lot of those people are people who are working in those fields or sectors and jobs, so then they have less money, and then there's like mild economic crises that come in many different areas, and there's no solutions because none of it's regulated. It's the magic of living in a society, dude.
You'll need to find a way to reach him.
I don't like that Nillifax is very dangerous looking right now. Is he immune to lightning? I believe so. Oh good, he's frozen though, so it doesn't matter. Frozen? Good. Oh, well struck, he says as he is dying. The AI will be generating AIs, and I'll be out of a job as well. Yep. Yo, what's up, Need More Chai? How are ya? How's the job search going? Actually, great idea. You know what? If you can't find a job, just make an AI that finds a job for you. You did computer science, so just like make an AI that will apply to jobs and then get you a job. Problem solved.
A button is recessed into the stone of this.
It has a base training level, and you can make it forget what data you've given it before, so other people don't take your responses. Yeah, true. I guess. I don't know much about it. Build a computer that can build a better computer will never build another computer again. I think the parameters of what build a computer will change, though. Right? It's not that we won't ever build another computer. It's that we won't do the process of building, but we're still gonna make the decisions. For example, you'll still be able to input to the computer, I need a machine or a bit of processing that can do X type of work. And the machine will go, okay, no problem. And it'll spit out an answer for you. God, this is where I wish I had Iceberg. Do I still have Snowball Swarm? Oh, apparently I still have Snowball Swarm. Oh, snap. That's actually really good, because I need something to give me damage against this stupid thing. Because the problem is I do have a lot of lightning damage, and if I was a tier 5 Stormsinger, I would be able to ignore the lightning immunity, but I can't do that here. Part of your interview process for a job feels like school all over again. I mean, yeah. I believe there is a very poignant Bowling for Soup song about this called High School Never Ends. So, you know, it is what it is, man. That song was about something completely different, but you know what? I'm just going to apply the same logic right here. Intelligence 10, Resistance 8. That's not bad. Be a dialogue tree. You can choose to continue the dialogue or reset the tree and start over. Yeah, that makes sense. But does it ever really forget the information that you fed it? Or does it hold on to all of that information forever? Eternally growing stronger and more knowledgeable by the second. Don't dispel my magic. You know what? Thundersnow. Jerk. He took my magic away. Look at how many spells I lost. Good build the Solomos quest. Class, Paladin, race, human, on alignment, lawful, good. Makes sense. Attribute strength 16 for melee damage, charisma 16 for spell casting. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. Important note, when Sacred Fist was coming out, because Sacred Fist is really stat heavy, you need a lot of different stats. Strength, dex, constitution, wisdom, and charisma. I recommended to the devs that it might be a good time to swap over. Oh, if you want to get to the next quest, you just walk to it from here. I recommended to the development staff that it would be a good time to swap Paladin to the 5th edition version. If, for those that don't know, in 5, Paladin doesn't use Wisdom anymore. It's Charisma for spell casting in 5th edition. So they don't use Wisdom for their spell casting at all. It's Charisma for all of their like auxiliary abilities. And that would be very cool, but SSG did not think that would be the best course of action, which was disappointing.
The grand tapestry of destruction and survival that you see around you. Bask in the glory of my works.
Also uses a 30-point build. Hey, man.
In his true form, waiting.
You know, that's just up to it. I think the 30-point build is perfect, right? People ask me all the time, like, hey, Strimtom, the build that you just put out is very cool, but I don't have a 32-point build. How do I play it as a 30? Or, you know, or a 28? By writing a 30-point build, then people that are playing as a 28, they know how to just take off 2 points. Easy. People that are playing as a 32, they can just add 2 points. I mean, it's literally a perfect system. It's right in the middle. It helps everybody. That's the way it's right in the middle, so it helps every single person.
The shattered remnants
Should maximize and empower for spell damage. Yeah, when you're using Holy Prism, you gotta maximize that. Yeah, absolutely.
Is the ruins keep, the demon
Big versatile adept. I mean, hey man, that might be a feat someday.
To guard the orb entrusted him by Loth, Kishnaurak fashioned 3 signs of power. While they hold,
That isn't a real feat. Yeah.
Keep, several drow stand arguing before the
that
first sign.
Harper enhancement? Oh, it's this one. Man, I remember when back in the day, you would see builds, and they would just be taking all of these for melee power. God, what a bad time to play DDO. Some of you might not remember that time, But yeah, there was a time where a whole bunch of builds were just straight up taking the versatile adept for melee power. And that was like a real endgame build people were running. UMD? Oh yeah, plus 66, let's go! Speaking of archetypes, looks like people can't get over the loss of evasion hunter. They're hard stun locked. Yeah, they are. I've said this before, I think people overvalue evasion a lot, and I'm very excited for when Dark Hunter releases to showcase the trap invincibility of Dark Hunter. I'm tempted because I have the stream clip just to post like a 1-minute clip on my YouTube channel of like why I'm going to be playing Dark Hunter, and it's just going to be me running through all the traps at level 7 and be like, that's pretty good. Where my level 7 Dark Hunter with no gear equipped except for medium armor and a shield went into Death House on Epic Elite, or not Epic Elite, on Heroic Elite. So they went, the level 7 character went into a level 12 quest, and then ended up fighting the. Do you have to fight these? I actually don't know if you have to fight these. Can you freeze? Oh my god. Anyway, went into a level 12 quest on Elite and ran through the entire layer of traps on the floor and didn't die. Which is amazing. It was so powerful. It was unreal.
To chaos, to decay, and to Loth's will.
Running in the Slave Lord's quest first? That would be a good place to test out traps, actually.
Before the third sign and the keep's barrier.
If they delay it? Well, they're anybody that has a hope for delaying doesn't know how the release schedule for Dungeons & Dragons Online is looking like right now. That class is coming out at the anniversary. Right, that's what's going to happen. You might think to yourself, yeah, but you know, there's more things that they could finish, and yeah, maybe we'll have to see by Lamania 3, but it's coming out on the 28th, or not the 28th, but you know, last week of February it's coming out. So we shall see.
The power
Concentration.
Damn.
I thought I could concentrate.
You feel the third and final
Not enough.
sign has been undone.
Doesn't matter how finished they are. That is correct. Yeah. Here's the best way to think about it. No matter what, Blightcaster is going to be awesome. Like, Blightcaster is going to be awesome, okay? So, no matter what happens, Blightcaster is going to be really, really good day one. Not just, like, powerful, but also, like, really cool. The Blight Wolf is going to be cool. The forms are cool. The character itself is going to be very strong for solo play. Like I said, I went from level, what, like 4 to 10 doing only Reaper mode with no gear on a First Life Thorncaster or Blightcaster. So, I'm excited. Something dangerous about this guy that I don't remember. Immune to lightning? Of course it is. Need some work on the tree and making other trees work in medium? Yeah, basically. If the other trees just... I think that if the other stuff in the other trees just say and medium, I think it'll be fine. Like, the capstone saying and medium for Ranger doesn't have any negative consequences, because it's not like, oh, you're going to suddenly have people multi-classing Barbarian. No, it's a capstone. No one's going to be multi-classing anything. Fine. Are the Meteor Swarms? Or the hitting me for 140 damage. That also kind of sucks. Albus, live! I don't know why he does that, but he does. Why do you hit me for 140? And it's like, it's not even like you can't get evasion back. And the trapping thing is so good for leveling. Important note, as I've said before, I am less concerned about whether something is the new hotness at the end game in terms of like when something gets released. I'm just more concerned with something being cool and functioning in and of itself. And the Dark Hunter is going to be very cool and going to be extremely good for leveling. Like, the leveling experience of the Dark Hunter is going to be amazing. It's going to be easily one of the best levelers released in DDO in a while. So, same with Blightcaster. So it's going to feel good for the general population. As far as its endgame usage, it'd be also good to have that utility. Just my brain is like, they should prioritize the feel of the class and everything else, and then worry about the endgame stuff later. Do build properly, will Dark Hunter handle difficulty traps? Yeah.
trying to freeze a thread of the weave, hmm? Oh, yes.
And also, Dark Hunter is going to do a lot of damage anyway. It's just Ranger with an extra 5 sneak attack dice. Yeah, there's like a couple less favorite enemies that you get, but it's fine. Like, it's it. You're gonna get, if you want evasion, you're gonna get evasion back. And end of the day, it's Ranger with more sneak attack dice and the ability to disable traps, which is just convenient. I mean, if you're playing in a super endgame experience thing, you'll always have a disable trap anyway.
Warm, but 30 degrees tomorrow finally.
30 degrees? Oh, that does sound kind of warm. Yo, how did this guy live? Which reminds me, the most dangerous thing in this quest are these drow spellcaster guys. Planeswalker drows are the most dangerous things in here. So to be very careful about them. Rogue only gets like 3 points disabled from the mechanic tree. Yeah, exactly. And all they need to do is add that to the Dark Hunt, or, oh, of course, they dispelled my magic. Did they already dispel my Death Ward? Okay, that's good. No, good. Now this doesn't want to cast it on me because he's too busy meleeing. Thanks, bud. I need displacement. I have greater heroism. We're good.
Another ambush. It's as if these forces were carefully placed to keep you from the rift between worlds.
My suggestion was there's an enhancement in the tree that adds 3 use magic device, and just call it like, you know, specific tinkering or something, and make it plus use magic device and disable and open lock, and then problem solved. Then you can get all the traps and stuff, no problem.
Are these scattered masses of rock the work
if you're an intelligence-based Dark Hunter, you'll have no issues with it. If you're not intelligence-based, you're gonna have the same. You'll be in the same pace as like all the rogues in the video game. It's not gonna be better or worse than any of the rogues that exist out there. Well, I mean, -3 is something, but it's like not that big of a deal. It will matter a lot more during heroic leveling, though.
This ledge and the next. Leap with
Rainer Hurger, not just a couple of favorite enemies. I agree. I also don't want the evasion back. Like, you can get it back if you want. There's multiple ways to get evasion. Evasion is very easy to come by in DDO. There was a time where evasion was a really special mechanic, and it was very difficult to come by, and characters that had evasion had, like, a distinct advantage, and it was very cool. But now, evasion is literally everywhere. There are items that give you evasion. There are, there's Shadow Dancer that gives you evasion. There's races that give you evasion. You can get evasion out of Primal Avatar. I don't know why, but yeah, you can get evasion out of Primal Avatar. So, like, evasion is not a difficult statistic to come by in any capacity.
the Dragoth growls. As he lowers his head to summon more adversaries, some of your life force
Okay, you stay here.
the rift. It grows stiller and more solid. Still, it is far from stable.
Blow all these guys up. Then I'm gonna go all these guys up. Oh, that didn't look like it went the whole way, and then apparently it very much did go the whole way.
He jeers.
All right, Albus.
The barrier has gone
Get
down
him.
again. It won't stay down for long.
Good job, boy. This is where I crashed last time, so I really hope I don't crash again. Like when I ran my solo fighter. Because solo bard will handle this crash way worse. The other crash, I don't know how I handled it, but this one will not be the same as Slomanuk. I will lose way more than here than against Slomanuk, because the monsters hit me a lot harder. Okay, that's good. Need to kill the Planeswalker Drow. Gotta get that out of the way. 84 damage a strike. Again, the problem is my health total is just not that high. And so I do take quite a bit of damage per strike. It's not that I'm actually taking a lot of damage per hit. It's more so that because my health total is a lot lower than like on the fighter, it's a larger percentage of my health per strike. Also, the Bebelith can hold me in place even though I do have freedom of movement, because for whatever reason, Bebelith ignores freedom of movement, which is a very interesting decision by the game designers. But that Bebelith web still works even if you have freedom of movement, and that is a death sentence for me. They also reduce armor class when they attack you, which is fun. Okay, I'm gonna try to kill this and then get the shrine in time. We'll see, because I do need to use the shrine in here. And I have no way to distract the monsters, so I should have lots of time. Okay. Oh, that's bad. Block. Block. Hold block. Okay. Fine. I'm gonna get to about half. Okay, Albus, use that.
Appears to be partway stabilized.
I just need to get this done.
Should do the trick.
Okay, we're good. Have most of my dangerous or my defensive buffs up. You're okay. Ooh, I don't like this. I do not like this position that I'm in.
He roars.
I did not get the elemental resistance up. I didn't get this. I did not get this. I don't have fear immunity. I need magic missile protection. Okay, we're good. Again, apologies. I'm very much not reading chat. I'm in stress mode. Fight or flight. Fight or flight. These guys are immune. They're not immune to lightning. The Dragloths are not immune to lightning. The Dragloths aren't immune to lightning?
You can just make out
They're
the
demons.
grin on the Dragloth's hideous face. The grin turns to fury as he looks a moment early.
I don't understand, but I'll take it. That's sick. I can definitely use that a little bit of advantage. Good. You know, I was hoping I would land my spells on this Planeswalker Drow. Okay, we're good. Alright, now it's just final boss time. In final boss time, there's a lot of ads coming in from every direction. I'm going to try to hide a little bit here and let the ads kind of coalesce so I can try to take them down. Because I will die if I get overwhelmed by these ads.
It's good to fight when I'm angry.
Again, Albus is going to die, but I don't care too much about that. It's mostly just getting the Planeswalker Drow out of the way. They cast a spell magic and all sorts of other dangerous spells, so I gotta be careful. Okay, I think I'm good. And he is immune to lightning. That's okay. Or he's not immune to lightning. So it should be alright killing this guy then. Apparently I'm applying water ability stacks sometimes. That's not bad. Okay. Again, this room I find just absolutely terrifying. The only reason I'm doing this quest is because I have to do it for the Saga bonus. If I didn't have to do it for the Saga, I wouldn't. Anyway, an evasion isn't that good unless you have high reflex save. Meanwhile, MRR is always useful. Yep, and hit points. Don't forget hit points is also good as well. I understand with still player how don't use hireling in this quest gate. I mean, when I play on the regular servers, so when I'm playing on like the normal servers, admittedly, I actually also don't use hirelings. Like I just click the door. So the way it works is it works against your percentage hit points. So if you go into general combat, you can see max hit point scaler. It works against your max hit point scaler, which means that it basically makes you, every time you click it, you go down on this number. So if you're playing as like a tank and you already have like the 25% confidence bonus to hit points, right, that you get in heroics, then that works against, like you're not starting from 100 and going down from there. You're actually going from your top number, like so you go from like 125 to 115 to 105. So you're not even at your base hit points after you hit the door a couple times. So it's not really that big of a deal. Jump off the ledge to clear that debuff. You can. You can also die or shrine. Dying and shrining also clear the debuff. Yeah, Frogo also works. Oh, that was good. Also, ad time. You got it. Man, that was a stressor, man. It's funny to see a single digit HP. Perform and Hamp 40. I mean, Hamp 40 is sick. 40 healing amplification. I mean, it's level 24, so I'm a little far away from that, but I like that. I'd like to have mana, but I'm about to gain a bunch of mana, and I'm about to take level 23. Int and Focus Subterfuge. Not better than what I'm using, so it's garbage. Hi, Endrek. Good morning. How are you doing today? Hopefully you're doing well. Now I can't take 23. I gotta go get the sagas. Now that I did those quests, I can do some sagas. Man, my gear sucks. So you've got 2 sagas, Lady Azana Winter here. Oh no, I can't. I have to do Don't Drink the Water. Oh, I have to do Don't Drink the Water first. Can I do the other saga? Uh-oh. Come on, Gisela. Come on, Gisela. Oh, yes, I got 1 saga. Perfect. I still have to do Don't Drink the Water. Alright, Don't Drink the Water. Let's go. I forgot about this quest before I could get my saga bonus. Rats. This quest is a little spooky because the final boss is a dragon that does a massive poison damage over time. However, if I start to die, I can Dimension Door out of the quest. But I basically need to kill the dragon as fast as humanly possible. That is the only way I survive, is by killing it at the speed of light by dumping everything. So everything I have is maximized and powered already, so there's no real way I can go faster, so I kind of just need to get lucky. A lot of luck in this one. Unfortunately, neutralize poison, which gives you poison immunity, does not make you immune to the poison breath, but it will remove the poison breath. So I'm going to be making sure to have neutralize poison on hand as well to get rid of the poison damage over time. Better when I finish your reports at work, and then you can swap to DDO. Hell yeah! Finish up those reports, man. Don't forget to put the cover sheet on the TPS report. Do you buy apple cider in game for spell points using village tokens? No, I don't. I'm too lazy. Like, in most cases, the quests are designed for you to get through without needing, like, extra spell points from the outside. So, I don't really need them. I assume this quest has the same issue as Dedoring in Feywild. I don't know what you mean by the same issue, but there's no door to leave. So when you Dimension Door back to the beginning of the quest, there's no door to leave. Oh, you're talking about, like, it clears it. No. I was thinking of just getting out of danger. Sorry. Yeah, so for those of you that don't know, in Feywild, if you Dimension Door, for whatever reason, in almost every quest in Feywild, I do not know what causes this. But it's not just Feywild, Death House, a few other quests. If you use Dimension Door, when your character goes to the beginning, several effects will fall off of your character. So for example, if you have Death Aura turned on, your Death Auras will disappear off your sheet, and you have to recast them, which is very annoying. However, during Hardcore Season 6, one of the effects that came off of you was the Hound debuff. In Hardcore 6, there was a debuff you would get where you're being hunted, and at which point a Hound will appear on you and try to kill you and everyone in your party. However, it was bugged, and so what you could do is just Dimension Door in any of the quests in Feywild, and then all of a sudden, you wouldn't die because the Hound wouldn't appear on you, which was absolutely a bug and not the intended design for the mechanic. So, on the one hand, you know, is that, like, unfair? Is that cheating? Maybe. On the other hand, has that bug been in the game for years and has been negatively impacting the player base and it hasn't gotten fixed, so then the players are now pushing back? Yes. And that's how I think about it. It's just people reacting to it. Yeah, if you're running out of mana, just use shrines. Like, there's so many shrines in quests that people skip past, so I just use shrines when I run out of mana. That's it. And boom.
Another barrier can be seen up ahead. The Yuan-Ti have gone to great pains to keep intruders.
Run out of mana, just get more mana? True. Straight up fact, dude. Stone Skin. Stone Skin still is not amazing at this level because it only reduces, 70 points of damage. But hey, 70 damage is 70 damage, right? Like, it is a lot more than nothing, so I'll take it. Gotcha. Later, I will be getting an ability called Scales of the Dragon, and Scales of the Dragon reduces the damage you take by 15 per, I think, character level. So it will absorb, for me, when I get it at 23. Actually, I'm probably going to get it at 24. 24 times 15, so a lot. And you can use it every 30 seconds. It's basically that much extra health versus physical damage, and it's very, very good. I could farm out a Ring of Spell Storing, but, like, Again, I don't really have spell point issues, because I just use the shrines that are given to me in the quest. Hey, what's up? Freeze, buddy. Freeze. Freeze. There we go. So for those of you who don't know why I'm calling for a freeze, my bard, as a Stormsinger, I have an ability called Lightning Strike, where I have a 20% chance on all my Sonic and Cold spells to hit monsters with a Lightning Strike that deals damage, but it also causes them to be frozen with no save, which goes off all of the time and is very useful. Or farm with some Fire Sword Greaves and get enough tokens to buy a Ring of Spellstoring. I can buy a Ring of Spellstoring and upgrade it now. I have all the materials to do so. I just don't want to.
You find yet another Yuan Ti barrier. You must be on the right track.
Again, it's like a mild time save because I can get like some mana back in a couple quests. Causes the freeze, the lightning bolt. So I'm a Stormsinger. So Stormsingers, when they cast light or sonic or cold spells, they have a chance for a lightning bolt to hit the target. So see, when I cast the sonic spell, that blue lightning bolt that's made a guitar riff, that's a 20% chance to go on any spell that I cast that is sonic or cold. And I have an ability that as you increase the power in the tree, it makes it so that the bolt freezes targets with no save. So then, whenever I attack the monsters with my sonic spells or my cold spells, they can get hit by lightning, and the lightning will freeze them with no save. Also, it plays a cool guitar riff. Gotta love that. What I would like is a more consistent way to freeze, and I will be getting that soon. In two different ways. Number one, I will be getting the capstone of Stormsinger once I hit level 23. I'm going to be swapping the points out and getting rid of the Spellsinger stuff here and getting the Stormsinger stuff up at the top here. Doing a bit of a swap-a-reno. And on top of that, I will also be getting Burst of Glacial Wrath at 24. Can you stop global warming with it? No, I can't, unfortunately. I mean, actually, yes, you could. I assume magic can probably stop global warming. Alright, so here is the hard part. Like I said, against this dragon, I need to make sure I've got my neutralized poison on lock. I need to kill this as fast as humanly possible, and I need to make sure I can remove the poison if it breathes on me, and gives me multiple stacks. So I'm going to be putting remove poison very close and easy to hit. Oh, let's go.
The great beast looks at you and speaks.
The little one's prompt. There's no need to rush. You know I'm always told not to play with my food.
Because the damage of this thing also hurts quite a bit. So if it just melees me, I'm also in trouble, so I want to make sure it doesn't melee me. It can also pounce because dragons are cat adjacent.
I will melt the flesh from your...
I know it looks like nothing's happening, but again, if the dragon hits me, I'm in a lot of trouble. I don't want to show you what that's like because that would be very bad for me. You're also going to notice I'm running back and forth. One of the main reasons I'm doing the back and forth running is because by running back and forth, he is not going to be walking towards me. He's just going to be, like, kind of standing still, rotating, which is very good. That is the poison. Remove that. Oh, neutralized poison doesn't remove it. That's good. I like that. I think I got him. Good. Okay, I thought neutralized poison removed it, but it doesn't, which is not cool. Well, there we go. Problem solved. Green dragon scale, and we're done. Now I can get my reward. Ice Age, it is cold outside. It is minus 27, I think. Let's see here, according to my weather. It is minus 27, feels like minus 35. That's in degrees Canadian, but it's also very close to that in degrees freedom as well. Devoted of Enchantment. All these are bad. Here we go. Let's get this. Commenting about stopping global warming. I mean, yeah, but stopping global warming is a good idea. And I have a very strong belief in, or reason why I believe it's a good idea to stop global warming. We are humans, okay? We are the masters of our environment. humanity controls basically everything. Are you telling me we can't control the weather? Yeah, that's some low-level energy right there. We can control everything if we want it, if we want to. So, why not control the weather? Sounds pretty good. Then we can, like, you know, make sure they're managing, or like crops will be easier to manage. You know, how much easier is it to save the ecosystems around the world if you can just literally control all of the weather? So we just need to advance the weather control technologies and control the weather everywhere. That's like sci-fi 101. You ever play any of those 4X games that are space related? One of like the best upgrades you get is weather control. It's so good. Like that's what I'm talking about, man. Weather control station. I was like, man, back playing a whole bunch of give me some Master of Orion. Give me a weather control station so I can grow more crops, so I can, you know, manage the environments better and also reduce pollution for better production. Dude, absolutely. Humans mess with the planet, they screw it up. Yeah, but you get better eventually. Hey, look, man, I might suck at most things that I do, but I get better eventually. Death block of insightful spell resistance. I did have an item of spell resistance in here. I think it's this one. Deflecting 29. This is what I want. Okay, so this might seem stupid, but I am going to put on a spell resistance item. A lot of people don't know how spell resistance works. So I have spell resistance 43. This means when monsters try to cast spells at me, they have to beat my spell resistance of 43, which they're not going to do. Which means I'm largely immune to a lot of crowd control spells. This also gives me spell sight, so more spell power, and insightful magical sheltering, so my magical sheltering is up to 53, which is pretty rad. So I'm much more defensive against magic than I was before. So I lost some spell saves, and my saving throws are pretty bad. But that's okay, because most spell effects can't even affect me anyway, which is very, very good. Because this has spell resistance, and then I have, where's my insightful spell resistance item? Yeah, the shield. Epic Shield of the Scorpion. So it actually kind of adds up together, which is very cool. So I'm going to be using that very heavily here. So again, spell resistance is a stat most people wouldn't think to use, but I think to use it, and it's going to be very powerful and potent for me. No. I don't need Abjuration Focus. That's for damn sure. Insightful spell resistance I already have. Charming. Enchantment Focus 5. If that was Evocation Focus 5, could you imagine? I don't need Water Breathing. I need Dryad Sap. Don't need Wands of Scorching Ray. And now I also don't need spell components because I took an extra point in Draconic Incarnation, which means this ability I have Eschew Materials, so I don't actually need materials anymore, so I can just sell all that crap out of the game. How to change the windows in the UI look. Let me go to link. Yeah, Blabo brought it up for you. Best armor looking green leather on female PC. Yeah. They, you know, a lot of video games that you're going to play out there, the designers will put a lot of time into designing the outfits differently between the male and the female avatars on the computer games. And they really did that with Evening Star, because the green dragon armor on the male models is this like bulky green armor, and it looks really cool. And on the female models, like there's a couple, so they definitely used a few scales. Maybe just for like the cups, and that's basically it. There's not a lot of armor there, even on the heavy plate. All right, so I'm going to reset this and be swapping out of Spellsinger and going into Stormsinger instead, which should be pretty good for this purpose. Now, the reason why I'm doing that is because I have this new ability here called Evergreen, which gives you 100 mana, which is whatever, but when using any Mantle of Nature, your spells have a chance to grant you 100 temporary spell points. This is going to go off all of the time, basically allowing me to run infinite mana, because my spell points go down quickly because I don't have a lot of them, but they don't cost a lot. 20, 9, 20, 2, 9. So my spells have a very, very low cost, which means if the chance on this is 25%, it's somewhere around 30, like 25 to 33%. If I cast 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 spells, that's not 100, so I should never really go down in spell points anymore. So I no longer need Inspiration, Melody, Spellsong, Vigor, so I'm going to get rid of this. I'm also going to get rid of the Stormsinger here as well. I'm going to kind of redo both of these trees entirely from the ground up. I actually think I'm also going to get rid of Snowball Swarm, because I don't think I need that anymore. Okay, so let's start with the Spellsinger, stuff that I actually do want. I still like having the heal. I think the heal is very good here, so I'm going to grab that. The extra mana is still nice to have. I do want the Lingering Song. I want the evocation DCs, please, and all of the cores. Inspiration melody. Might as well grab the spell-like ability for greater shout, or for shout, because it's good. Charisma, extra spell levels, sustaining song, frolic, 1 point in spell pen, because, you know, spell pen's okay, and virtuoso. So I get all of the extra DCs for my evocation spell, so I get +4 evocation DC here, as well as the extra crit with sonic and heal spells. And now I have 41 points to spend here. Grab Storm Song. Dodge is actually kind of good here, and is probably better than Electrocution, because my dodge is a 1 point off. So I'm going to put the point in there, kind of get that higher. Grab Lightning Strike, some Storm Song, and reduce the mana cost of Maximize here, because I think that's like it's like one of the best things you can get in the tree, if I'm being honest. Grab the... Do I need Snowball Swarm? This is the real question. Do I need the Snowball Swarm spell-like ability? Because I can kind of just spam now my spells a little bit more freely. So I'm going to try without the Snowball Swarm spell-like ability and kind of just like go on without it. So I'm going to get the movement speed, the extra crit, the bolt, the charisma, go with the pierce resistance because I think this is really, really useful to bypass resistance, and grab the next point in electrocution. And then up here, we grab Horn of Thunder. There is the effect where Eye of the Storm causes extra lightning strike proc when you use Sleet Storm. I didn't take Sleet Storm, so I can't use that. But I want Stormcaller for Iceberg. I want the evocation DCs. And then I'm missing 1 point for everything that I want. So I'm going to drop the 10 Sonic Spell Power here for the Capstone Master of the Storm. So I'm going to quickly reset that. And then I have my point. So this is going to give me, over what I was getting from Stormsinger, or Spellsinger, this gave me 25 Universal Spell Power and 2% Sonic and Positive Crit. This instead is going to give me more damage on my Lightning Strike. My freeze is 5 seconds, +1 catch level and maximum catch level of all of my spells, as well as an evocation DC. So it's a bit of a trade, but it is still pretty good. And now, I have a different Horn of Thunder, so I have to make sure I replace this because this is actually a different spell entirely. Just going to put this on. Maximize, Empower, and Quicken, which is good. My Shout is still the same Shout. My Cure Wound's still the same. But I have a new spell, Iceberg. So now I have 2 major, just like super damage spells, Iceberg and Thunderstroke, that do a ton of damage when I hit a single target, and they're very, very good. So I can just blast people for single target, which is pretty sweet. I'm actually going to put these here, I think. I'm going to get rid of... I don't really need ball lightning that much, so we should be good. Yeah, but I don't have Call Lightning Storm. I'm a bard. What am I going to do? So yeah, we are good. So I'm going to go test this out. So let's go do another quest that's full of monsters that are basically immune to lightning, which is something that I absolutely love. Maybe I will put this here. Let's go do the Druids Deep chain. I think Druids Deep is pretty good right now. I'm trying to think of other quests that I want to do, but staying in Evening Star for now seems like the play. I'm not sure exactly where I want to go with this, but we'll see. No Spell Song Transfer, infinite spell points. Yeah, but I don't need to regenerate my spell points when I have this ability here called Evergreen, which makes sure my spell points are giving, or I get temporary spell points whenever I cast a spell. You will see how impactful this is very shortly. Yeah, so I gained 1 spell DC over that, and 2 spell DCs, because I gained this spell evocation here and the evocation here, so I gained 2 DCs, a bunch of spell power, a new spell, and a whole bunch of crit I didn't have, as well as replacing Horn of Thunder. So now I'm chilling with 32 electric, 15 cold, and 30 sonic. I wish I had more, but I don't even have cold spell power. I don't have an item. It's kind of funny. Infinite spell points, more spell points if you spend any time in the quest, no casting spell, or even questing. True. Are you even questing? So I just got my temporary spell points went off, so I just got an extra 100 here for myself. Thank you, video game. So my buffing cost me a little bit more than I would like, but it is what it is. Tell me what to do. Thank you.
Take that key on the table. I forget which wing it opens.
All right, let's go. Time to do some spells. The Primal Wisps, unfortunately for me, are fully and completely immune to lightning, so I have to deal with that. But notice how my spell points are going down slower. It's amazing. Iceberg. Also, I love Iceberg. The visual of it is fantastic. The only annoying monsters in these quests will be the Wisps, however, they will freeze just like everything else. So yeah, I should have a little bit better spell cost maintenance, but again, we'll see about that.
The other patients. Magical might.
I'm fairly certain I will, but go away, Kania experiment. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oopsie. Can you still use song to mass freeze? Song to mass freeze? I'm not familiar with that ability. I don't know if that ability was ever... Was there a song to mass freeze in Stormsinger? Was that in Lamania? I don't know. Well, I'll be using Burst of Glacial Wrath later. And most fights are going to be open with Burst of Glacial Wrath, use my AoEs and move on. I gotta get Eddie to even start. There's too many lightning immune monsters. I'll figure that out later. They make a healing song which has lightning strikes, which freezes. They made a ability so that your inspiration carried along the lightning strike proc, so you can give other people in your party the lightning strike proc. They did that for sure. I said I'm mostly just going to kill wisps. Everything else is a bonus along the way because of the tedium. Because everything else dies really easily. I might still have to use a shrine here and there as I'm like practicing this character and getting better at it, but we'll see. Things like super dangerous, but things can be annoying. Like Michael Jarvan. Michael Jarvan, why do you have so many hit points? Why do you take so long to kill? The character will gain a lot of power over the next couple of levels. I'm just not quite there yet. Will Lewis freeze into octahedrons? Yeah, it's probably just like the base shape, like the actual model is probably that shape in the behind the scenes. And so when they freeze, you actually get to see the model. It's like their hitbox freezes. They're D8s, man. They hurt to step on. Actually, I think every dice hurts to step on. Probably. Are there any die that are comfy to step on? Probably not. To get myself displacement again, because that seems like a really good idea here. See if there's like a special acupuncture set of die. Oh, he's dead. My guy, he's dead. God, those guitar riffs are so sick. I love it. Quest is over. Hey, what's up, Primal Wisps? We're like Primal Idiots. Yeah, D4s are horrific. Yeah, yeah. If you drop a bunch of D4s on the street, they'll pop somebody's tires. So that's terrifying. Think about what they do to your heels when you dig into them. Everyone's just stepping on a sphere. Yeah, but I don't know if you've ever seen cartoons, Sokamish, but I'm pretty sure in cartoons, if I throw marbles on the ground, you're going down. You know what I mean? That's instant fall over. Like, how do you even stand up against that? The trick is you don't. You fall down against that. You fall down, and you hit the ground. Banana peel, same thing. Yeah, exactly. Just like a banana peel. Instant ground. I mean, you might slide all the way across a hallway, which is also possible. It depends on like what cartoon dynamic you're living under, but... Yeah, give me that temp HP, baby.
As you enter
Or temporary spell points.
greeted only by silence and a strange smell.
Maybe the model's different than cosmetics is very annoying. Yeah. Oh, these things still take damage from lightning? Oh, yeah.
There is some kind of wooden man beyond.
Spike growth is just D4s. That's a great idea. I love that. What is spike growth? Yeah, you just drop a bag of D4s on the ground. Not entirely a growth, but, you know, it's growth adjacent. And he froze. See ya, bud. Was that 20,000 damage I just did? Oh, yeah. So every level this character gets, the damage is just going to go up and up and up. Important note, I definitely could. There's a bunch of traps, that's why I'm skirting the edges of this room and not just charging right in if you were unaware. This room is full of traps. All of these rooms are extremely full of traps. But You might be wondering why I don't just keep with the spell points. I could if I wanted to, and just have more spell points on my character if I really needed it, and so keep with the Spellsinger. But I wanted to get more damage so I could go faster and eliminate targets faster. It's important to note that killing bad guys you need to kill quickly is, in a lot of cases, a much safer play than having more defenses or utility. So, for example, against that dragon, it would have been great to have not just, or to have Iceberg on top of Thunderstroke. Also, I apologize, you can't see anything in here. But having Iceberg and Thunderstroke, because getting a second time to hit for a major amount of damage is really, really impactful. And it would allow me to delete enemies I can't deal with quickly, thereby making it much safer for me in general. And I think a lot of people forget about that there is the kind of defensive component of offense, where if the monsters are dead, you're not taking damage from them anymore. Like, the monsters only deal damage while they're alive. Not all the time, obviously. Many of you guys are very smart and you know about these things. Yeah, I'm just pointing it out. Breeze, buddy. Hey, do you like Thunderstroke for 12,000? Oh, yeah. Getting an extra maximum cash level on my Thunderstroke? Oh, baby. Hey, yowza. There is an effect I do want to get later, and this is why I'm still thinking about going Fatesinger. I'm not 100% decided yet. There's an effect in Fatesinger that doubles the damage of all of your, like, spells. All your, like, sonic spells and stuff. And it's really good. But the problem is I have to, like, use it or whatever. So I'd have to go into Fatesinger, and I don't know if I want to be a Fatesinger. Oh, so we'll see. I'm still undecided. What's the riskiest hardcore build you survived with the longest? I mean, I very recently leveled up a pure sorcerer, which had no defense, and I just, like, attacked. I just literally sprinted through the game blowing stuff up. Also, this character has a very low amount of hit points for hardcore. Riskiest character? I've done Spellsinger Bard a whole bunch, actually. Again, the reason why Spellsinger Bard is dangerous is because, in my opinion, it's the hubris, where your character feels really good and really strong, and so you just forget how dangerous the game is, and you make bad decisions. Oh yeah, 6-con Life would be the worst character I've ever made. 6-con Life, the dream. Hey, I got a wall of wood.
Aware this place is far from safe, yes?
That's not the wall of wood. That's the wall of wood.
Of course you are. Danger is an old
it is good. That's a very powerful shield.
I can see. I am a harper. You've heard of our order? As much by smell as
you've heard of our order? Just trying to tell me to sign up for his new gym plan. What a rude guy. Rude dude. I need more spells to cast. But yeah, 6-con Life was something that I did for previous hardcores, where I made characters where the rule is you have to start with 6 Constitution, and you can't wear any Constitution items or equip any health items or take any enhancements that increase your hit points. Those are the rules of 6-con Life. The only exception is ship buffs, just because you're going to get ship buffs and whatever. So that's like, you know, the except. Topaz of Wizardry. Oh my god, that's yellow. And this is a green slot. I can get 226 mana in my Darkstorm helmet.
I died twice on Bard last season, not from enemies. Those were boring and practically not there, but from traps.
Yeah, because when you're playing the Spellsinger, you press Horn of Thunder, everything in the entire galaxy is dead. And then you're like, wow, you just walk through the empty dungeon and then eat it to a trap. You're like, oh, you're right. Video games. Like, oh. Video games, of course. Evocation 5, Insightful Conj 3, Concentration. This one is actually good enough to use over top of my goggle. It is 1 higher evocation focus. If only you could just get a Blasting 5 somewhere. $100 temporary spell points for when I'm casting my buffs. Thanks, video game.
You have reached Thorn Hollow, the Druid Hall Sage's home.
Can we try just getting Blasting 5 somewhere? No. Does that work? Can I do that? Yeah, I hadn't given that a shot yet. Maybe that's the next move. Next year we'll try that out. Be What an idiot. Goodbye, Thomrin. And I didn't get the crit. This lightning strike freeze thing is amazing. Kind of do wish I had Dragon Breath instead of Stormcatcher. So we'll see. I was wondering if you thought about revisiting Fadar Cleric now with Dark Apostate. So I did on stream. I just didn't make a video about it because I tried like 3 different Dark Apostate melee builds and I just wasn't satisfied with any of them.
Great root bearers
So I've actually played 3 Dark Apostates and made no videos about it because I can't find the Dark Apostate. Like it just doesn't feel good from the ways that I've played it, which is not to say that Dark Apostate isn't good. I have played with many good Dark Apostates. I just don't like the feel of it. I haven't enjoyed it as much as I thought I was going to. I thought Dark Apostate was going to be my favorite, and it turns out Sacred Fist was my favorite, which is something I did not expect.
at the center of this cavern.
There's this guy. Hey, buddy, guess what? You're freezing solid. Freezing solid. You're freezing solid. Freeze solid. Freeze solid. Freeze solid. There we go. Guy does not want to freeze solid. Freeze solid. Mama bear, freeze solid. 1 in 5? Oh, whatever, everything dies anyway. You can also Dimension Door out of here. I didn't actually have to fight any of that stuff. Just trying to play cast version. I don't like it much. Yeah. I've seen a lot of very powerful Dark Apostates. I've also seen... Dark Apostate, important note, is an extremely good multi-class. Sacred Fist is more fun than Stormsinger. I think it's because it's a departure from regular Paladin. I wouldn't necessarily say it's more fun, but it's a more new idea. Like, Stormsinger is cool, but it's just Spellsinger Bard with different spells. Whereas the Sacred Fist feels very different from regular Paladin, and it doesn't feel like Monk, which is nice. Whereas, like, this character is just a sorcerer with Bard abilities. You know what I mean? Yep. Hey, lightning bolt. See ya. Yeah, you can also use a Dark Apostate to play a Chains character, which also works fairly well. Again, I don't have to kill this guy, so I'm not going to. I'm just going to Dimension Door out. Which some people might not be aware of. You don't need to fight the druids. There's one of the druids is hidden in one of these side passages, so you actually don't need to kill all of them. Why is this bear here? Oh. Good enough, I guess. Yeah, you just have to kill the heart. You don't have to kill the druids. Dubai Shrine. I only have 700 mana. That's probably enough. There is a trap here. You avoid it by hugging the right wall. You don't fall in this spike trap. So just hug the right wall there. Some people don't know that, and they will eat the trap. This character probably could, but I don't want to do that. Also, I can kill Flynnbeck at any range, because for whatever reason, Stormcatcher has no range limit on it, so I can just kill this guy. That's the wrong button. And now he's out of range. That's bad. I have to be very careful because there's going to be a lot of bears in this room, and I just need to get out of this scenario. I need to kill everything and constantly AoE down the monsters and not get overwhelmed by bears, which is what usually happens. The Mama doesn't hurt too bad, but it's when the other bears show up, they cause like constant knockdowns. So I have to be a little mindful about when that happens. These guys, these bears. Because again, they knock you down. Not dead. Herald of Asmodeus. Okay, I think I'm good. I just have, like, the Den Mother. And the Den Mother can't really kill me, so I think I'm fine. Also, somehow Albus lived, and I don't entirely understand how that works, but whatever. I'll take it. 100 temporary mana. Boom! Iceberg. Boom! Thunderstroke. I should have used those sooner. I don't know why I didn't.
source of the corruption
Didn't Cruiser
destroyed.
play a bow Dark Apostate? Was that good? He didn't finish it, if that's what you're
Invades a
asking.
forest. Asks why there is a bear in the forest. Pepega clap.
Well, it's because the bear's usually farther back in the room, that's why.
He has gone to Druids Deep. With that, the last of light passes from her eyes.
Is adamantine plating worth it? Yeah, it's fantastic.
Linger darkly.
The reason is, on a Warforged, you basically use composite or adamantine, because mithril plating is the worst, one of the worst feats in DDO. And so, taking mithril plating is a major nerf to every character you can play. But adamantine, if you're playing any type of fighter or paladin or barbarian, you pretty much go into adamantine plating, because the alternative is being too squishy. Composite plating is very hard to manage on a tank adjacent or on a heavy adjacent character. Give me some spell power and the bypass. 2 more points and I get Scales of the Dragon. Then I feel much less scary. Stream at chat emote's not working again. I literally, let me just check this because I have the widget, so it's all turned on. So I have enable BTTV, Franker Z face, 7 TV. I have all of those emotes enabled, and yet for some reason I guess it's not loading. I don't know. Miss Warforged tank meta, yeah, with sorcerer healers. That was a good time. An interesting time to play DDO for sure. Yep, I have no idea.
You are
I'll
near to Druids.
see if I can find a solution, but I'm not sure what the problem is.
Druid's riddle was that you must be a wolf, a fish, and a bear to find the way.
You miss the Batman builds. You miss the Batman builds. Ooh. Iceberg. I just hate wisps, so ignoring them is very nice. Okay. I don't like getting knocked down by wolves. I'm okay, because I have a good amount of damage reduction, and I have a good way to deal with a lot of these bad guys, which is killing them. Is this all elements? Oh, so I bypassed the first 15 energy resistance with all of my spells. That's cool. Or 30 with all my spells. That's very cool. Okay, let's see what we got here. Corrupted Dryad, hit him with the Stormcatcher. The benefit of Stormcatcher is it is a short cooldown, but its maximum cast level is 20, which is really stupid and dumb. Stupid. Also taking a lot of acid damage, which is annoying. What is the solution here? What's the solve? I think I will probably end up going with White Dragonborn for the White Dragon Breath, I think. But then I need a cold damage item, and I don't know how I'm going to get a cold damage item. If only there was a Sonic Dragon Breath. Oh, I have to go to the door. Get a Whelm. Just Auget. Auget's not the worst. I don't have cold spell power. So I could go get a 20 cold spell power augment. Not a big deal. Oh, that's true. That would work. Oh, sorry, Junie. Oh. You can bypass this door by clicking on the door and like clicking the little gear and clicking use on the door. However, if you do that, it bugs out and you still have to kill her. Why not just electricity? Because the cold can proc, or cold and sonic abilities proc my lightning strikes, which freeze with no save.
Perhaps this is what the riddle meant by be a fish.
That's why. It's part crowd control and part additional damage. I would straight up do more damage if I went with lightning, like I'm aware of that, because I have the Darkstorm helm, so if I just went lightning I would do more damage, but then I wouldn't get the Master of Storms proc. To be fair, if I have Dragon Breath, it's just going to kill everything in one hit anyway. So, we'll see. I actually could have taken Dragon Breath instead of Coalescence, then I'd have Dragon Breath and I'd be using that instead of Stormcatcher, which is also probably a very good idea. I don't know where to go in terms of a tier 5 here, because Primal Avatar tier 5 doesn't do a whole lot for me, and Draconic Incarnation, again, doesn't really do a whole lot more for me, so we'll see. I actually have no idea what I want to do with this character. We'll figure it out. Who knows what they're doing? Not me. Again, doing research ahead of time is a good idea. I'm not doing that, so I can show you what happens when you don't, and then you have no idea what you're doing, and you're just scrambling around trying to figure out what the best idea is as you go. So I could afford it. Prime Letter's poopy. I disagree, actually. Mass Frog is unbelievable. It's so nutty. I hadn't gone Primal Avatar for a long time. Like, basically, I hadn't played a Primal Avatar since the Epic Destiny was released. And I decided to actually take a chance and give it a shot. And I had so much fun on my Alchemist. It was unbelievable. Just having individual target frog and mass frog that was working nearly 100% of the time, it was very good. I dip into Magus to get what? I also could use, you joke, but I could use Unyielding Sentinel. Don't get bear trapped. Trap. Yeah, but this gives you mass frog, which is really good. Also, the greater form is super powerful. The greater form is dramatically better than dragon form. Important note, I'm not saying that it's better than Draconic Incarnation. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there are also uses for the other tree. The summon's kind of low, but we always knew they were going to suck, which is unfortunate. Yeah, I don't always use Unyielding, but on the Hardcore League, I will. If you're watching this and you're like, oh man, should I be using Unyielding? If you're on softboard, no. If you're just playing on the regular servers, don't use Unyielding Sentinel. Unyielding Sentinel's for scaredy cats like me, who doesn't want to die. If I was on the regular servers, I'd definitely be Fatesinger, Draconic Incarnation, Primal Avatar. For sure, for sure, for sure. From the Shadow Dancer for melee? Yeah, exactly. Do I need to shrine before the final room? You know what? Why not? Might as well. I'm still like working on getting my mana up, so I might as well shrine because my mana not so good. I get a lot of mana later. Like I get mana when I actually put a mana item on, get more charisma, put points, you know, to now grow from Primal Avatar. Get some more meta magic cost reduction here so I can make my maximize cost 0 and reduce the cost of Quicken by 4. So all my spells will cost a lot less. Plus also this character can easily get the... I'm probably going up Draconic Incarnation, so 5% and 5%, so 15% spell cost reduction. This character will have minus 10% spell cost reduction from leveling up, 10% from an item, so that's 20, 10% from Bard Song is 30, and 15% from Draconic Incarnation, so 45% reduced spell cost. If I wanted, I could also go Fatesinger for 55% reduced spell cost, but I don't think that's really necessary. I think 55% is probably a little much. Because you need the throw weapon cosmetic for the sandal. Oh, you want to be able to throw sandals at people? I mean, why not? When you got nothing else, throw a shoe. It's like that scene in Kung Fu Hustle where like the landlord whips the shoe at the guy from like 1,000 miles away. Is that still reducing the spell costs? I thought that was fixed, so it doesn't go below 0. My biggest weakness is just not doing enough damage. I just need to do more damage. The idea of taking... Uh-oh, I gotta get out of Earthquake. Oh, I gotta get out of Earthquake. Stop rolling 1, dude. Okay, bad. Pay attention to Earthquake, Strimtom. Oh, okay. Note to self. Everything in here is horrifying. It's so funny doing this on the fighter, where I was so much safer and more self-assured about what was going on, and I never felt really scared at all. Whereas on this character, I'm always like, oh god, as I take, like, comparatively small amounts of damage. But it just feels a lot more dangerous because my character is more fragile. I'm gonna phase this guy as fast as I can. Phase, you bastard, stop healing. Okay, you're dead. You're dead. You're dead. Again, this is why I wanted the big single target. So I can just, if I need to kill something, I can just kill it right away. Oh god, stop chasing me, please. Perfect. Whew. Got him. Again, mildly scary, but I'm okay. It was a great movie, but I remember nothing from it. Yeah, I will say, fantastic movie. Do I have it? No, my movies are somewhere else. I only have video games behind me. But yeah, fantastic movie. Definitely one of the greats. It's just so silly and entertaining. Everything about it is great.
If you are playing along, you need to kill the ads when he becomes an animal because he is immune to damage while animal form.
Yes, it's also it's important to note, yes, you have to kill all the animals because he is immune to damage while he's in animal form. Also, the number of people when I do this dungeon that I see that don't do that, and they just wail on the boss with the boss's health not doing anything. The boss's health stays there; it doesn't go anywhere. But the number of people they just sit on the boss the whole time and they just attack the boss is very entertaining. It's not helping you get to your goals. PDK comms? Sure, let's take PDK comms. Okay, what do we do? I kind of do want to try the Dragon Breath instead. So I think I will try the Dragon Breath route. It does not seem that bad. So I'm going to give that a shot. I'm going to try the Dragon Breath route over top of Stormcatcher. Because I think that'll do more than Stormcatcher will. I'm going to drop Coalescence for Dragon Breath. Let's go. So we're going to go blue or white. White procs the damage. The thing is, I have 15% more crit for the lightning. But the blue causes the freeze. The lightning is more damage. I think I am just going to go with the lightning. I think that's the play. I think that's the pro gamer move. Pro gamer strats. Because it's also cool. You know. We'll do that. And then I'm waiting on 1 point. So now we've got blue Dragon Breath. I am going to replace Stormcatcher because I don't really need Stormcatcher here. Here we go. And we'll give that a shot. What quest do I do now? I don't remember. Usually I have a path for this, but I'm also trying to make sure I don't get myself killed. Spies in the house sounds pretty good. What's dangerous in Spies? It's probably fine. No, the floor's not dangerous. It's probably the elementals for the most part. Probably getting railed by elementals as they like launch icicle spears. And also the section where you have to pop up. You pop up from like the below, and then you have to climb on the pipes, and there's all the mephits that are there, and they cast Polar Ray. There's like Polar Ray Hell. I'm going to buy some scrolls to help avoid Polar Ray Hell. To House Fjarlin. Does Medic Spray still have a place in today's endgame? Yeah, of course. Anytime you're playing a spellcaster, like a sorcerer, just whip it so you don't have to deal with constructs. Wizards use it very heavily as well. That's not the shop I wanted to go to. Hey, Screen, how are you? But yeah, Wizards love Prismatic Spray. Do Warlocks get Prismatic Spray? I don't think so, but Wizards do, and they love it. I have to go to House J. Wrong house. Even I forget stuff where I have to buy everything. House J sells level 4 scrolls, and I need Fire Shield. Why Fire Shield? Because Fire Shield, while it's active on your character, makes it so you take half damage from either fire or cold, your choice. And since there's a lot of cold damage in here from the spell Polar Ray, which is one of the highest damage spells in the whole game, being able to take half of that is really cool. Yeah, I would say Prismatic Spray is still very nice. Leveling on a Sorcerer, until you get to 20, it's very useful. You can pick up Prismatic Spray at 15 after Delayed Blast Fireball. And then once you go into Sharn, you can just Prismatic Spray away all the golems and other crap that's really annoying to deal with on your character. And then, in Epics, you don't need it anymore. But on a Wizard, I think Prismatic Spray never loses any of its potency. I think it's always good. Here you go. Have some stats. Enjoy your reduced cost of things in the shop. Alright, time to go to Spies in the House. This quest gives a lot of experience points. However, it can be mildly dangerous, so I'm going to show you how to get through it on Elite, I guess. Oh, pro tip. If you're on Hardcore League, never do the quest Storm the Beaches on Epic Elite. On Hardcore, you will die because the ballistas are functional and they just shoot you down. They just rip you to shreds instantaneously. It is so dangerous. You will not last very long. No matter how strong you think your character is, you're not strong enough to deal with it. Yeah, you're right. The ballista can be handled completely safely if you do it properly. And since I won't do it properly, and you won't do it properly, don't kill yourself. Just don't do the quest. Do it in Heroic. Really easy if you do it in Heroic. Because in Heroic, the ballistas don't work. But in Epics, you will die. If you want to try it and practice, go on the regular servers and give it a shot. But don't do it for the first time on Hardcore. Again, you will die. That's just how it's going to work. No ifs, ands, or buts. You are straight up gonna die. Why does this thing have like 8,000 hit points? What the hell is that? Oh, where did I put those fire shield scrolls? There we go, fire shield. Alright, how do you do this? Swim down. Just swim down. There's tons of traps all over this. Swim down. Spike traps don't do nearly as much damage. You just swim through them. That Sweet Saga reward? I mean, true, the Sweet Saga reward. Hey, look, I decided to take a lightning effect, and it is paying dividends. How did they hit that guy from up here? You know what? Shouldn't complain. Don't question the good things, Strimtom. Alright, I'm in Epics. I have Feather Falling and Jump. If you're in Epics and you don't have Feather Falling and Jump, go get your House B buffs and put on a Feather Falling item. Then climb up here like this, and you want to come over and switch this nodule over to this thing right here. So 1 and then 2. That is going to activate this blast of fresh air over here, which is going to take you up. Because you have access to the jump spell, like I just said, you jump up here and climb over to this. If you don't have access to the jump spell, go get House P buffs. You're level 20. Go get them. Come on, guys. Come on. Come on now. If you're watching the series and you're in your level 20 and you still don't have House P buffs, what are you doing? Am I just talking to an empty room here? What is happening? Go get your House P buffs. Come on now. And you might say, but Mr. Strimtom, I'm on a multi-life character. I don't want to farm out House P buffs. Great, you're on a multi-life character. You should have access to the jump spell. Jump potions you can buy for remnants from the remnant vendor, among other things. Anyway, once everybody is dead, you can just kind of like jump up here. Can I not jump up here? Is my jump too low? Hold on. My jump is too low. Very funny. If your jump is too low and you can't make this jump, you can also pull this valve to get up. Yeah, you can go farm pots from White Plume Mountain. There are ways to get jump potions. Haste.
You hear a prisoner's voice calling for help.
Alright, so on my fighter, it was very dangerous, and I had to deal with getting up this hill here, because the hill has grease on it. But I have freedom of movement, so because of my America, I can just run straight up this and take a little bit of damage from lightning. So I'm just going to be very mindful about the lightning, make sure I have rage on for the extra hit points, and then hug the left wall, heal myself as I run through, and then kill these bad guys. Okay, this thing had like 10k hit points, and I do not know why. Yeah, go get House P buffs, exactly. Treasures look clear, wearing stone boots. Yeah, jump over this because it will shove you down to the lightning trap, and that will kill you. Blast away all the skeletons, like you blast away the wall in Whomp's Fortress. Kill these guys over here. I know there are some lightning traps going up, so just give yourself Rejuvenation Cocoon or something for some extra temp HP in case you take a hit on your way up here. Not forgetting that they get the jump spell. Yeah, druids get jump. Very good. Would recommend. Anyway, there's bad guys over here. Hit them with Chain Lightning. When they're alive, hit them with your other spells that do damage. These guys hit them with spells that deal damage. And then when they're alive, hit them with more spells that deal damage. The thing about Bard is, like, you just cast all your spells as fast as you can, and it's pretty good. honestly. You need Death Ward. I have Death Ward on. There's a Necromancer coming up ahead, and if you don't have Death Ward, he's going to kill you. And then he's going to resurrect you from the dead and kill you again because he's a Necromancer, and it's very cool. You can also talk to her through the gate here. So just keep that in mind. Please protect yourself. Also, Albus going on an adventure to fight a monster. Now, Lightning Floor, scary. How do you avoid scary Lightning Floor? You literally just use Feather Falling and then walk along this ledge. It's not that bad. That's it. I've seen people die here. Just run on this ledge. Very safe. Very safe. Hey, man. And also, Albus didn't even die, so if you die, what's that saying? My hireling Albus lived. He sucks. I don't know what's casting Comet Ball, though. That was scary. Anyway, so there's the Death Ward coming in clutch, already protecting me from a single spell. I don't know what the spell was, but, you know, did a good job. And I'm just going to blow this guy up with all my single target damage because I'm a Stormsinger. Recast Shield because I noticed it came off. Take down the Arcane Skeleton, who is very dangerous. This Arcane Skeleton is quite dangerous, so don't let that thing kind of run around on you, or else it will do just that. It'll run around on you, and then it'll kill you. These guys are, again, going on an adventure, so hit them with the Dragon Breath, so they're all dead. God, Dragon Breath is so good. What a good ability. Ring of Flickering Steel. Ring of Flickering Steel is also a good item. It comes from the quest Lost at Sea, and it has electric resistance, electric absorption, and quality magical sheltering. It's one of the best electric absorption items in the game, and I highly recommend you go get one. There's a raid called Riding the Storm Out. It is all electrical damage, and it is very difficult to deal with. However, if you just happen to have any amount of electric absorption, it's actually crazy easy, and the Ring of Flickering Steel is all you need. The quest Lost at Sea is free, so everyone in the game can go get the item, and it's quite good. The heroic version is okay, but if you're level 30, go get the legendary version. It's going to be a lot better. Also, there's a shrine here if you didn't know. And I need it because my mana is low. You can loot the chest through the gate too? You can? Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, I'm going to just get Albus to stop... Albus, come back. He's aggressive, he wants to murder, and I get that. I also, you know, seek the taste of blood. But, you know, we gotta chill for a second here, dude, because we're going on an adventure. I need Feather Falling. I just generally like having Feather Falling whenever I have the chance. I'm gonna ignore these bad guys here, although I do have to pull this lever. A lot of raids of electrical damage. A lot of raids have electrical damage. So yeah, having a Ring of Flickering Steel is a fantastic investment if you want to do any endgame content. People run Lost at Sea all the time because it's the first quest in Sharn, and it's a very, very good item.
deftly climbs her way out of the sewer.
And the quest itself that it drops out of only has 3 items that drop in there. So there is a good chance you're going to get it before you ransack. Okay, so for here, it's all fire damage. So I'm going to cast Fire Shield to reduce the amount of fire damage that I take. Perfect.
Albus Dumbledore is the greatest wizard to ever live. He does not chill or hold on.
You have to run across this floor. Not a lot of damage because I'm making my save, though, which is nice. The hardest part is this elemental. The air elemental will knock you down into danger. I'm going to ignore that now. There will be traps that are going to activate, these cold traps. The cold traps are now very dangerous. I want to be able to manage the cold traps, so I'm going to put on Fire Shield Fire instead. I just realized it's these little cold traps as you run across here. Apparently my jump key is not working. Give me a second here. But it's these little things, these little bursts of cold. They will kill people. I've seen them kill many, many times. It sucks whenever it happens. You hate to see it when people die, but yeah, it is. It is what it is. Now, I could run all the way around there, or I could just go under here because I have Feather Falling, and I can just grab onto this ledge. Wow. And then we're going up. I still have Fire Shield, so my Fire Shield is going to protect me. I'm going to take a little bit of lightning damage, get a heal back up with Rejuvenation Cocoon, and then try to get out of this hellhole as soon as I can. As I said, the ice methods here are very dangerous because they cast Polar Ray, which is the highest damage spell, the highest cold damage spell that monsters cast outside of Iceberg. So now that they're both dead, I'm going to go up. You're also going to notice I'm going to be constantly pelted by Ice Spears, which is another reason why we have the Fire Absorption here. Very, very helpful. It also helps the fact that I'm a Tiefling, which means I have even more Fire Absorption. So it's not bad. Also, water elementals are not immune to cold, so Iceberg away! Because my fire resistance is 73, and then with the effect, my fire absorption is, 73, and fire absorption or cold absorption is 50%. Why did I say fire absorption? Cold absorption 55. Yeah, because fire shield cold. I know how to play the game. I know what I'm doing. Who are you people? How'd you get into my house? What are your thoughts on Blightcaster's level 9 available spells? I honestly think it's too good. Better max level spells than anyone else. Yeah, I don't really have a problem with that, though, because they need to make more better level 9 spell lists for the other caster classes, and I hope that they continue to update the other caster class spell lists as they go along, as we get more archetypes. I think it's just a good sign for the future. Like, if they're adding a good spellcaster list for Blightcaster, who knows, maybe they'll add more level 9 spells when they add a wizard archetype or a sorcerer archetype and add it to everybody. It'd be nice if regular druid has actually one of the best level 9 spell pools in the entire game. Albeit a lot of them are, you know, form specific. What are you gonna do?